I'm like eating right now, but that's fine.
It's fine. Well, let's just see if I saw some. We got like 6 people that joined the channel, so that's cool. It's bigger, I guess. My picture's probably not perfectly centered, which you guaranteed someone will get tilted from that, and I wouldn't blame them.
I mean, I'm already tilted. I haven't even seen it yet.
All right, if you guys want to look, maybe go look at the stream for a quick sec, but I like the way it looks right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yep.
All right. All right. Well, how much more eating you got to get done? I want to see at least one person say hi in the chat. Are you alive, chat?
Looks really good right now, by the way.
Nice. Yeah, a
I
little
gotta say,
patience.
Sploosh, your hair is pretty good, man. You got some hair on you, man.
I have too much hair. I needed a haircut like a month ago.
Yeah.
And I've been putting it off. Today's actually my wedding anniversary, so I went to visit my wife yesterday. We had this massive meal, and she's at the beach right now. And I told her I can't. She took the time off, I didn't. So she's with the kids, having fun. But when I showed up yesterday, because she hadn't seen me, she already left a day ahead of me. She was like, "Oh, you shaved and your hair looks nice." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." I did put 0 effort, but like I was mega self-conscious. I'm like, "Yeah, I probably should like get a haircut within the next month."
All right.
Oh, there's Deaton.
Yep. Everyone's just hanging out on Sunday. Nothing to do.
Looking great, Sploosh. Thanks, Jay.
Appreciate
I
that,
appreciate
Deaton.
it, man.
Yeah, just say that when we're live, so I can feel better.
Aren't we live?
We are live, but I'm not going to put this on the podcast.
Eating stream?
Yeah, I have actually a lot of food at my desk. My wife isn't around.
Burrito...
Yeah, go ahead. No, I don't have my wife around to feed me, so I have like endless amounts of snacks and food here. It is a struggle.
But
this burrito is the last food that I have in my apartment.
Really?
Yep.
There was certain things in my
eggs.
There was certain things in my refrigerator that I was like, "Oh no. If I eat this, I'll have to go shopping."
Shopping, yeah. I have a lot of those moments, dude. I'm like, great.
So then I'm literally wrestling with the idea of like, well, maybe I don't eat that, because then I would have to go shopping. Maybe I eat it later. Past Doug has lots of responsibilities. Current Doug, he's doing great. Or I should say future Doug. I'm sorry. Future Doug has lots of responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Current Doug, no responsibilities. Can you hear this crinkling sound?
A little bit. Not really.
A little bit, yeah. It's not.
The filter is supposed to protect the people.
Today is the Lord's Day to talk about MCP, right?
Yes, it is.
Is it? Is there something I'm missing?
No, dude, Sunday.
Oh, okay. Oh, I get it. Just the fact that Sunday alone makes it the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fair enough.
I'm going to throw this out.
So, did you guys win your cut game? Did you play?
Well, I didn't. I'm not playing. No, I'm not playing this season. But
what?
Mike won. Yeah, I'm not playing.
I won, yeah.
I figured Mike won, but I don't assume things. You can't assume gender in their victories.
Diamond Dogs. So Chewy is not playing. Rest of Diamond Dogs won except for Cookie and Dizzard and Deaton. They lost.
So basically everybody.
Except me, you, and Jacob.
I guess Sooner.
And Sooner won.
The Sooner won, yeah.
Yeah.
1 compliment stream limit.
I respect that, Dean. Alright, you done with your burrito?
Cookie apparently got his dice failed him.
That sucks.
Deaton said he misplayed, and Dizzard brought Daredevil when he should have been playing Asgard.
Yeah. Are you gonna want that plate on cam? Is it on camera?
Oh,
actually?
that plate is on cam. It's not on the stream though. I'll get rid of it.
You know what? I think I cut your screen a little bit and then moved you to the right. I had a thought about this tier list in the beginning. Yeah. I thought maybe it'd be a good idea to define what average means. For example, when we say survivability, survivability, what is average survivability? What is the health pool and defensive dice? What is average? Because I was thinking 3 with 5 health.
3, yeah.
Is that average? Or is it actually...
is that average nowadays?
I feel like that's below average by definition. But then what is average? This is like my was cooking lunch kind of shower thought. What actually is average durability?
Luch, can you stream your screen to Discord?
Stream my screen? Oh
yeah, so I don't have to watch the stream.
Yeah, that's what I don't want to do either.
Okay. Yeah, we had planned that, didn't we? Let me do it. Okay, share your screen. This. Go live.
There you go.
Fixed it.
Perfecto.
There it is. Perfect. Beautiful.
Watch delayed stream. And
oh, Jacob's here.
No.
Except the stream's all scuffed now, Sploosh.
Yeah, because Jacob joined and moved all your screens. Jacob, you have to leave.
Banished.
Poor Jacob. So this system wasn't designed with more people, unfortunately.
No, it wasn't.
Because every time another screen enters, you guys shrink, and I can't fix that. So it is what it is.
So are we gonna do the whole Darkstar thing, or?
Well, I'm just curious. What I don't know. So I don't know if we want to have this discussion briefly in the beginning, because I do think we should set the terms of arrangement.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. What's the name of the new character?
Darkstar. Should just be hilarious.
Okay. So yeah, I was just. Do we want to discuss briefly what average survivability is? I'm kind of because we're gonna go this whole thing saying, "Oh, this character's survivable, this one's not." What actually do we agree is an average stat line? Like, or should we could even wait and discuss it officially, but I think that's interesting,
I think the 3 and then
5 health.
5 health. I mean, that's gotta be. I mean, I don't
think so as well.
I hate to say it, but I think you're right. I do think though that in general 5 health is in my mind below average competitively.
Probably, yeah.
And maybe that's where there's a disconnect,
But like, I'm trying to think of like the average like what would an average character have?
I mean, probably no defensive tech too, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the distinction. 3 with 5 health and no defensive tech.
No defensive tech, yeah.
Is average, and then any defensive tech would make you kind of above average.
Above average. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Yeah. It's a tricky one though. I think that's subjective a little bit, but as long as we agree on what we mean anyway, it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
Where language is important. We learned that this week.
Yeah.
But all right, do we want to start again? I wish I could move this window.
Pat says combined stats are 9 to 10 with a couple outliers. Crossbones at 8 combined. Doc Ock at 11 is adding the defensive stats together. Yeah, 9 to 10 will be like 333 or 433. Crossbones is 422 for 8, but Crossbones got -1 damage. Ox got 6 health on one of his sides.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough. 3-3-3-5 is average.
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we start with an intro to hit the hot? Well, yeah, we'll discuss that we're gonna. You know what? Why don't we discuss? Chewy, I don't know if you saw it, but I put it in my channel. The things. It's the 5 things we're gonna say. Is like
in your notes, right?
Yeah, go to my notes. It's the 5 descriptions of a character.
Okay. Attrition, control, ability, action, economy. Yeah, because I kind of caught in on that conversation later.
Yeah.
But,
so
yeah.
I think we should discuss that. Discuss maybe very briefly, just that we're gonna do a tier list, and that. I mean, I don't know if we need to describe what. Maybe we should describe what S tier means, because Mike, we kind of had that conversation. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
No, we don't have to go too long on it, but discuss the tiers slightly. Like maybe discuss what D tier is, and then obviously, I don't know, B and C are kind of in the middle area. But then we'll jump into a hot take, and then maybe get into it. And
tier Viper into the bottom tier right now.
That's cheating.
No, dude, Discord's gonna lose their mind, man. You just haven't played Viper. She's good.
We don't want to hurt characters' feelings, man. Off the bat,
We missed our chance to be called the Sleeping on Viper podcast.
Are we gonna talk about Darkstar?
So I think I'm kind of getting into. We should not instantly jump into Darkstar, but talk about the fact we're going to do a tier list and then start with Darkstar in the tier list.
There you go.
I don't think we have a portrait in your tier list, Mike, right? So we'll just have to imagine we move.
No, I put Darkstar in the tier list.
Did you really? What a superstar.
I think she's at the bottom. Yeah, there
she is. Okay. There, she's at the top now. Okay. So you want to start whenever you're ready. I'm ready.
Ship it.
Go ahead.
Go, Mike. You're gonna lead this.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You're the guy.
Right. Welcome back to another week on the Danger Room. I am Mike. I'm joined with Sploosh and Chewy. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
I'm waving to the camera, which the listeners can't see, but we are doing this. We're doing this live with people in a Twitch chat. So
yeah. So we're kind of messing around with some new stuff today. We are streaming on a Sunday afternoon. We had an idea for a topic that's pretty relevant and interesting, but we kind of wanted Jacob to be around for that one. And he was ambushed by some neighborly children, I guess. And he needs to address that. So he's out for today. But
yeah.
So in our scramble to get something up and running for the week, Sploosh and I had an idea to do low tier content, aka tier lists, or a low effort content, I should say, not low tier. So we're going to tier list 3 threats. And Chewy is joined with us, obviously, and we're going to talk about. We're going to get started with defining what our tiers actually mean, so that all of us can be on the same page and we can minimize arguing.
Yeah.
Okay. So S tier.
So okay, I guess we have an S through D tier, and I think I can speak for us and say that S tier is something that is so overtuned or over the curve that everyone has to play it. So think of like Enchantress before she got nerfed, or maybe even Medusa. All you've got is like S tier tactics card, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
it didn't even matter what kind of game plan you had. You were going to play this card or character.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't even think you got to elaborate. That seems pretty clear to me.
That seems clear to me.
Yeah.
So spoiler alert. I don't think any of us think that there's any characters in the S tier in the game anymore.
I was just about to say that myself.
Yeah, obviously we're just doing 3 threats today because we're not going to do every character. That would take us forever. But definitely, Just out of curiosity, just throwing it out there, if there was anyone even remotely close, what threat value do you think it would be at? Because I kind of think 3 might be the spikiest of characters for, I don't
Yeah, I
know.
don't even think there was an S tier 3 threat back in the Sam Spam days. I mean, maybe Sam himself, but not. He wasn't really Splash, so no.
Yeah, it was more Sam is the leader. I mean,
It
he was
probably
It
just
was
was
a
very
Koye. It was
good.
Yeah.
actually probably a Koye.
Koye,
She's not a
I would
triple
say.
True.
threat.
True. There we go. We found the S tier. What does she have, like 70% play or something crazy?
Oh my god. Yeah.
I mean, she just made you not even consider other 2 threats, or at least not until after you took Okoye.
Right.
Like we ran a Nebula Okoye in our little crazy roster last year, and yeah,
Yeah, and Toad was around. Like obviously Bullseye wasn't a 2 threat yet.
Mhm.
So
yeah,
yeah, it was basically just the Okoye show.
Yeah.
Which chat is also suggesting. But
Yeah.
okay,
Okoye was 70% play.
and then D tier. I mean, it's easier to hit the
So-
extremes, right?
Sure. So I think the lowest tier for me is like this character's just not worth playing at all. Like the only time you play this character is if you just like them thematically.
Mhm.
But like their rules don't justify putting them on the table. That's D for me.
And probably in affiliation, there's probably 1 to 3 better choices or something. Like flat
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
just like can't even rationalize it in affiliation.
Right.
We shouldn't hit too many of those. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know that we need to elaborate too much on ABC. Like, A is just really good, probably splashed. B is
Yeah.
like above average, and I would say C's average. Are we cool with that?
Average. Yeah.
Yeah, like just good, not like outstanding exactly. Maybe even fills a role. It isn't as popular as a B, but like
Mhm.
can fill a role at times.
So
We
for
cool?
me, I guess like I'm maybe a little off. We can kind of
Yeah, we can agree.
A tier's like splash characters for me.
Okay.
Like they're like the best of their affiliations, splash characters, etc. Like
Mhm.
Hood. Hood's a perfect example of this.
Okay.
E tier is like these characters are like role players or like solid in their affiliation. They're
Mhm.
not they're good, but they're not like, hey, I need to fill this role in my list out of affiliation. Like, who am I grabbing? You know,
Okay.
these
Interesting.
characters don't typically get pulled from that pool. And then C tier, I would say, is like they're below average in their even in their affiliation. Like they're maybe they're like fine, but there's like they're even in their affiliation they have better choices. Think like Cyclops.
Fair enough. I dig it. You down with that, Chewy?
And then D is like not really worth playing.
Yeah, we got
Right.
the yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I do think even though this is kind of our junk food content, I do think it's fun to like go down the rabbit hole of like how we rate characters. Because there's a lot of talk in the community constantly about what's a good character, what's a bad character, and then arguing over why. I mean,
Yes.
it feels
Yeah.
like since day one, my memory of Marvel Crisis Protocol on any kind of public space is just constant arguing over like who's a good character,
Yeah.
who's not a good character. I enjoy it, or I wouldn't engage in it.
Right.
But I do feel like sometimes when people have trouble agreeing on this subject. So I don't expect everyone to agree with us at the end of this, but at least to share like why and how we think.
Yeah.
So yeah. And do you want to mention the 5-pillar thing that I mentioned, Mike?
Sure. So Sploosh has devised these 5 RPG statistics, if you will, or attributes. We have attrition, control, mobility, action economy, and survivability. So attrition obviously is how good you are at doing damage. Control is how good you are at disrupting or disabling or moving your opponent.
Mhm.
Mobility, how fast you are. Action economy, that's a little nebulous, but more it's like how many. Can you like do a lot of things on your turn that are relevant? Like maybe it's like you have a character throw, you have like movement baked into your attacks, those sorts of things. Survivability is just how good you are at not dying. So
I would just add to the action economy, it could also be your ability to disrupt the opponent's action economy. And we do play a game that only gives you a finite amount of actions per game. So, and honestly too, even if a game ends faster than maybe the opponent wanted, like say the control player ends the game on turn 3,
Mhm.
in a way you can think of that as they just stole a lot of actions away from the attrition player perhaps they're playing against. Where the attrition
Yeah.
player needs a lot of actions to kill everything. And if you just win the game on turn 3, it's like, sorry, bro, you just lost 3 turns of actions because the game ended. You know, so
Yep.
there's a lot of finesse to action economy. But yeah, anyway. So we can do our hot take now, right? Want to do that?
Yeah, we can talk about Darkstar. So Darkstar is a 3 threat. She's kind of like a weird Doctor Strange Lockjaw fusion.
Yeah.
Her stat line's pretty average, or I guess it's average, other than she has 4 Mystic defense.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, she's got a pretty decent builder. I mean, it's a gainer, but she's reroll any or reroll all rather. It's
Reroll
not Master
all
Swordsman,
and doesn't have the skull reroll factor that we're
right?
used to.
Right.
Exactly.
Does anyone
I think
reroll all other than Doctor Strange?
No.
I
Is
don't
that
think
why
so.
are we all brainwashed into like reroll all means skulls because it's just Doctor Strange twice?
I
Right?
think yeah.
Oh, and of course recalibration matrix kind of.
Calibration Matrix is another card that can do that too. So
Yeah, so
yeah.
I just feel like it's gonna be a little jarring the first few times I'd play this character because I'd keep wanting to reroll the skulls and have to stop
Mhm.
myself. So anyway, but it is not reroll any, which would be obviously far superior and insane actually. Just strictly better in a way than
Yes.
yeah, Captain Marvel would immediately be worse than this character and so at least as far as like the way those attacks go. But yeah. How do we feel about reroll all on this character? Like what do you've envisioned
It's
that being really good, just okay?
I don't know because my thing is you're only gaining 1 power from it. Um I mean, I don't know, honestly. There are rules that I get with Doctor Strange when I used to play him back in the day. Where like, okay, I got 1 damage or I got nothing, and then I re-roll, and then my results ended up being worse. Sometimes they got better, but like a decent amount of times they were just worse, and I was like, okay, well, whatever. The difference with Doctor Strange though is that at least he gained power from rolling like a block. So it was like, okay, even if I whiffed on an attack, I at least rolled the block, gained a power. I got something out of it. My issue is that she really doesn't gain anything out of it outside of maybe you do a little bit more damage, maybe you do less, and that is it. Um, Granted, she gains the power naturally from the attack, but that's it. I mean, there's nothing more to it than that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's cool. I mean, uh, I mean, you roll in some crits maybe, and you get extra dice, and you just roll, maybe get more damage. That's where I'm at with it, honestly.
My
Yeah.
favorite thing to
You know,
do, well, my favorite thing to do with Doctor Strange is roll like 1 crit and all blanks, and just
Mhm.
like, well, I guess now it's a 6 dice attack. Let's do it again.
Right, right,
I definitely look for the crits first, and then from there think obviously about how am I gonna if about the reroll. And
right.
these things tend to be roughly perfect information, so
Mhm.
sometimes you're like, oh, I rolled 3 hits and they rolled 3 blocks. I probably won't hit them, but let's just try anyway.
Try it anyway. Yeah,
Uh,
basically.
and it's just a consistency thing. Like that means this attack should probably do at least 2 damage every time.
Probably. Yeah.
Like now, obviously the opponent could block it, but you should be outputting probably 2 hits every attack. I think that's pretty safe, right, Mike? To say.
Probably. Assuming you don't
Yeah.
like roll skulls or anything like that.
Yeah,
I
sure.
mean, I feel like this reroll all thing is just kind of a nice to have.
Yeah.
I don't know how much it actually helps her output, especially with like skulls crits. I guess kind of neutralize each other.
Mhm.
Uh, so I don't know. I think you're just attacking for the power. It's really all. Any damage you
Well,
get's nice to have.
competitive players want consistency, and this thing is pretty consistent. You're getting a guaranteed power, boom, consistency, and you're probably, like I said, you're probably going to get output 2-3 hits in theory. It should be
Yeah.
relatively consistent as far as this game can be consistent.
Right. Well, the other thing
And
is to. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, well, we're gonna get to the superpowers, which are a bit expensive. They feel very X-Men-y. I wouldn't be surprised if this character somehow was X-Men affiliated. Just
Actually,
because
she might be a mutant in the comics.
Is
I
she?
really don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised because it's just one of their things. They have to have three power
Yeah.
superpowers, you know.
Right.
I I mean, it's kind of joking, but like you
Yeah.
gain a power for turn, and then you get 2 power from 2 attacks, and then you get to use one of your superpowers. So
Mhm.
Here he is, Sploosh. Darkstar has been depicted as a mutant superhero and a member of various super teams in her career.
Oh, there you go.
oh baby.
There
Well,
you
I
go.
mean, you don't get to be in the X-Men if you don't have 3 power superpowers. It's just how it is.
That's
So
how it is. Yeah. Thing too is the other nice thing about the attack too is that it's energy, and energy defense has been shown to be like average to below average in the game. So she can take advantage of characters that just have weak energy defense, and
hmm.
get that 2 points of damage that you're looking for. Um, so I mean, yeah, I for me, like, I hate builders that don't have wild effects. I just wish she has like a wild, like, to do something. Granted, she has the reroll all, but I wish, hey, maybe, I don't know, put out a condition or something,
Yeah,
shock
that
or
would have been nice.
something. That'd be nice. That something like that. Like, I hate attacks that just don't have any wild triggers or anything. It's just one of those things that I just can't stand. It's whatever though. I mean, it's a good attack though. I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
think the
nothing wrong
attack
with it.
was
It's just I just wish it did a little bit more. That's all.
okay. Yeah, so
Yeah.
her build is fine.
Yeah.
I was moving on. Her spender, I think, is awful.
I definitely did like a ew, that's gross face when I read it. Just
It's pretty
it's
bad.
probably the worst part of her card. I mean, I don't even think that's
For
debatable.
sure.
This
Yeah.
is really, really bad. Why would you ever spend 3 power on this? It ranged to physical. It's a physical attack. It's 7 dice, cost 3. You can change it from physical to energy, but then all you get to bleed on a wild. That's all it does. Why
Yeah,
would you
7 dice for
ever
wild
use
bleed.
this?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Range
Why would?
2.
Yeah.
It's basically a range 2 version of her first attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Yeah,
2
not
dice,
good.
which 2 dice equals like maybe a hit.
Maybe. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. That is just such a boring spender. It's why would you ever use it to? Why would you ever be within range 2 with this character? That's the other thing too. Like,
Well, you don't want to be, but people
you
make
don't want to
you.
be. Yeah, it's why would. It's just not well designed, in my opinion. It's terrible.
It's a little dry. I don't know. Like
Very.
you sound kind of negative on her. Like for me, I like the consistency she offers, and she does interesting things. I
No,
think
she does interesting things. We'll get to the superpowers in a
yeah.
second,
I
but
mean,
that's where I
she's
like her more. You know, attack wise, like, I love the builder. It's just the spender is just like, what the hell do you? Why would you ever
Yeah.
use it? And why would you ever be within range 2 with a character that has just average defense dice and nothing to help her with it? Granted, I say that, and she has the superpowers down below, and we'll get to that in a second. But, like, why would you ever be at that range to
Yeah,
do that?
I just think the range 2 is a miss and makes this attack not worth using.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, they should have kept this as a ranged attack. Maybe make it range 4 and just keep it
uh,
consistent
Yeah,
that
range
way.
3, range 4 would have
I
been better.
take
Yeah,
range 3 as a concession. Yeah, I agree.
yeah,
Her spender is absolutely a miss. Like there's no
yeah,
question
for
about it.
sure. Yeah.
Well,
She
moving on.
yeah. Go ahead.
Or well, is there anything else left to say about Spender? I mean, it's not that
No.
great.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, her superpowers are a lot better, so you just spend power on that. But
Yeah.
so she's got 3 power, teleport herself or an ally within 3, range 3, and you could do it once per character. So this is probably why her builder is a gainer. You
Yeah.
spike on like a reroll all, you could just teleport all your characters.
Oh my god. I could just could you imagine?
I imagine
Yeah.
it'd be
Oh my
great.
god, it'd be phenomenal for me.
Not for them.
Not
I
for
do
them.
think
No.
this superpower, I think she's probably night and day better on like Infinity Formula or cubes, or even with Dormammu or with Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, then you can just do this every round
Yeah,
without getting attacked or anything like that.
correct.
As
I
if
think
you
so
have
too.
like I guess if you have, well, if you teleport yourself, let's say you have like Steve, you teleport yourself for 2, then you attack twice, you get your 2 back, plus the 1 for the turn. You can spend 3 to teleport somebody. So yeah.
It's like 2
So you
teleports per turn.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and you could do it once on yourself,
Yep.
which is kind of cool. So, I mean, that's not a bad turn for a 3 threat, right?
No,
Like,
it's not. I don't
if
think
she
so.
teleports herself, attacks with 2 5 dice energy, reroll all, and then teleports another one of your characters.
Yeah.
Range 3 teleport's crazy.
It's crazy, and then getting. I mean, that's a huge distance to get someone within 3, and just get them up the board, like, and just helping out with other characters' action economy, which is like, okay, if I can find a way to move Magneto without using Asteroid M or something like that, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I could put him up there and he can do his thing. Maybe put up a Thor if I'm playing Thor for some reason in Avengers. I can help him out by putting him closer into the game. That way, he can just maybe do his range 5 gun a lot more consistently, or put him within range to attack somebody, so that way he can gain some power and then do his charge. Stuff like that. That range is huge. It's really good. This is my This is by far like my second favorite thing on this card, honestly. Well, my first, actually. I should say my first. It's a tie between the two. I love both of them. I really do. But
yeah, I mean, thank God we don't have to talk about herbs anymore.
yeah, that's exactly. It feels good.
I mean, come on, man. You
right?
can't help it. It's like a reflex. I've had 2 years of this conditioning that if I see a movement effect, I have to think about herbs. But yeah, I don't have to worry about that. I don't know. I mean, this is probably a combo piece, like mid game, where you have another character that's going to somehow benefit. Like Magneto comes to mind. Maybe as a character that needs a little boost. MODOK, even, to be honest,
MODOK too?
probably loves, like, this is range 3, not range 2, like Scalpel. That's huge. Like, she can do it from further away. And you can do this on turn 2 with just move attack. It's pretty easy in theory.
It's pretty easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Or you pick up an objective, then you move again, and then the next turn you do 2 attacks and then use this.
Yeah.
I don't know. Absolutely. I don't like this character. Doesn't scream at me as like, oh, you got to play this character though. Maybe if I played like more Magneto style characters, I'd be a little bit more into it. And I'm kind of over the whole MODOK thing personally. I think he was kind of overly nerfed. So just having someone cart my fat character around like doesn't get me super excited right now. But not to say that it wouldn't in the future, or kind of like you said, Mike, honestly, if Dormammu was just playable and better competitively, maybe this character would be in the Dormammu list, honestly.
Yeah.
I could see it.
I mean, I think she's just like she's probably like just a different flavor of Lockjaw.
Yeah.
And I think if you can, Lockjaw is probably better at being more self-sufficient. But if you can like feed her power, you probably get more value out of her than you get out of Lockjaw.
Agreed.
But again, if Black Bolt wasn't such a turd a lot of the time, like Lockjaw gets played a lot in Inhumans, and he's good in Inhumans. And
I played Lockjaw in Map C's, and I enjoy it. This character, I don't think you would enjoy Map C.
Yeah, Lockjaw's a little tankier, but I mean, you would probably be playing her in her own affiliations, right? Like she's probably solid. I mean, we've seen Dynamo's short move. There's a chance that the bear is a short move, so like they're gonna really like getting moved up the table.
That's a really good point.
Cool. Good point. I mean, we can talk about this barrier thing. I'd say the only real thing of note here is it's not Mystic. Like this thing straight up just doesn't work against Mystic characters.
Yeah. Right.
And
all the advanced triggers are on Mystic attacks typically. Are there any physical or energy attacks that advance the character?
Doctor Strange.
No, Strange pushes on his energy attack.
You said advance, my bad.
Yeah, advance.
God, oh my god. Okay, yeah. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. Future proofing.
Yeah, I'm sure it's future proofing, but that doesn't do anything right now.
It doesn't really make sense though to advance someone with a physical attack. It's usually like a mental thing.
Yeah, it's like a mind control thing, right? So
kind of odd.
Yeah.
These abilities are really good with characters like Iron Fist, which it makes sense with Iron Fist because he doesn't care about Mystic anyway. He's just kind of screwed. So if you're not
Yeah.
playing against Mystic attacks, then Iron Fist is awesome, and this character hangs out well with Iron Fist. Maybe the bear has some kind of count blanks mechanic as well. There is like an opening for this to be a very good ability, and
I think
you
so
do.
too.
Well, the Crimson dude there also is kind of his leadership's kind of anti pushes and things, and this
Right.
just adds like another layer on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
Seems fine to me. I don't think you're going to use this ability as much as you'd like to, though. It's
I don't think
pretty much like
so.
it's like a max like once per turn probably, and then like
Maybe.
yeah, and I wouldn't even count on that honestly.
Yeah, her issue is just the power. Like you start to think about later on in the game, and like turn 2, turn 3, like you don't you're trying to find a way to find that power to keep using this. I mean, because both cost 3. I mean, if you want to effectively do this, both of her superpowers on a turn, you need about 6 power. Her base gainer is what, 2 power a turn, and then you just effectively gain 1, like at the start of a turn. So you're
Yeah.
gonna have 3 power at max. So
Dude,
you
if
know what I'm
this
saying? You get where I'm getting it. So it's gonna be hard to effectively continuously to continue to keep using these superpowers. You know what I mean? I feel like they're gonna be situational things where you have the power. Okay, I'm gonna do this now. Or you're gonna be in a situation where okay, maybe I can't use a teleport because maybe I value the defense dice more, and I could just hold off and just use and wait for the defense dice, right?
this
Um,
dude Chewy, this character gets bodied by poison.
yeah, stun.
No,
Stun.
stun won't do anything really.
Well, no, you're
Unless she gets
right. You're
attacked.
right. Unless she gets attacked, then you're not gaining that powers. So
But if you
stun too.
poison this character and then just ignore it, it's
Ignore.
like
Yeah.
doing something every other turn.
Yeah.
Like
Poison bodies is
reasonable.
hard.
The strike is reasonable as far as damage. So ignoring this
Mhm.
character, she could output some reasonable damage. But
I think so. Yeah.
you know,
But again, it's like how many times are you gonna be using your superpowers? Probably not a lot. Um, I think she's gonna excel more in teams that can get her power in like out of just in certain situations like Brotherhood throwing terrain, A Force with the damage thing, Inhumans with passing, um, stuff like that. Cabal with the +1 power. I think she can do some work there.
Yeah, Red Skull leadership seems pretty
Red
cool.
Skull
with her.
leadership. So if she's doing damage, she's going to
yeah,
be gaining 2
true.
power a turn. So
She should
Cabal
do
could be another
damage.
spot for her too. She should.
I will say that. Like, if
Um,
you're playing her in Cabal, like just the
Yeah.
math says that she should way more often than not hit someone for 1.
Absolutely. And then
And
she can go ahead and turn on her teleport thing turn 1 and just move somebody up. I mean, then you have Red Skull with the whole cosmic portal thing too.
yeah,
You
I
can do that,
actually could see an argument for Red Skull maybe moving her to like
Yeah.
get the energy economy going quicker, and then she can then reciprocate that by moving someone else on turn 1. So that might be a thing,
kinda cool.
honestly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a thing, honestly. And if she's let's say if she's affiliated, man, that's a bonus. I highly doubt it. I'm not saying she will be, but you never know, right? Like if she gets
I don't know
affiliated with Cabal,
anything. I don't even know if
I don't
this
know anything
character
either.
is
I mean,
like. I don't even know if she's a villain or not. I have no idea.
I don't know either. I don't know anything about this character. I mean, I didn't even know Scourge was going to be Cabal. Scourge is Cabal. Like that was just out of left field. So, you never know if she is, man. That's a huge plus.
Well, I mean, all the
Um,
evil Asgardians have been Cabal, right? So
Oh, Scourge is he evil? I'm
he's
sorry.
kind of like anti-hero villain of
Okay.
Asgard. So
He's like a
Enchantress'
lackey.
lackey.
Yeah.
Is he okay?
Yeah, so
Oh,
she's
alright then.
Cabal. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So
Well,
you never know.
I think we should tier this character, and I do promise the listeners we're not going to take this long with every character. I mean, this is our hot
No,
take.
we're not.
But yeah, where do you guys want to fit this character right now? And it is hard because we don't actually know her affiliation at all.
We
But
don't.
she might be in more than one.
She's Winterguard at minimum, so
Yeah, we know, but we don't know. We've seen the leader, and that's it. I mean, it's just not
Yeah.
enough information.
Right. Honestly, man,
I
right
mean-
now.
yeah, sure. Go for it, Chewy.
I'm gonna put you on the spot.
I mean, I was gonna say like B.
I
I'm
put her
think-
in C.
I'm thinking B
Beers.
personally.
Right now,
think-
it's hard for me to put her. Well, you know what? Put her in B.
So
She's like borderline
Yeah,
B, C to me. But I
and
put
this
her
is
in B.
complete hot take. I've never played this character,
I haven't
Yeah.
played her either, so I don't know. I'm just going off her kit and where I think she can excel and how effective she can be. So I think B, because you can fit her into Brotherhood and find a spot for her to do something. You could put her in Cabal, find a spot for her to do something. So I think B is appropriate. I think.
I think
I can't go any lower
the
than that.
discussion you mentioning Red Skull and stuff, it does kind of give me a little hope. If somehow this character's maybe affiliated, maybe not, but that's interesting at least. And then we don't know the
Yeah.
affiliation, but I have to think that this character functions at least. I mean, I've played with like X-Men when they first came out, and I had to run Taskmaster for like half a year. Okay, so I'm used to like my affiliated characters being like very B style and getting
Right.
work done, and this character doesn't give me the like, oh, she's useless or anything feeling. She actually feels
Right.
very average to above average, honestly. She's
She
just not
does.
very like jump out at you exciting, you know?
Exactly. That was my take on her. Like she has some cool stuff. You just got to find ways to use her superpowers effectively and just whatever. If
I,
you can find and you'll be fine.
I will just also say her survivability is a little on the low side, but she's got a
It
few
is.
things going for her.
Yeah.
For one, she's got the range 4 attack, okay?
Yeah.
And two, she does have that like defensive mechanic that does work on her. She's
Mhm.
got the action economy as well. She can use the teleport on herself. She should basically, my point is she shouldn't be like in the thick of it, like right. She shouldn't be like middle gamma point just wrestling with
Right.
everybody in the game. She should
Correct.
be probably in the back gamma shooting away and moving characters who are more tanky around and doing things like that. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not as caught up in her survivability because of the fact she's a range 4 attacker.
Right.
And you just
it
have to
also
play her.
seems like
Yeah,
the
go
rest
ahead.
of Winter Guard is a bunch of frontliners. It seems like, right?
Yeah.
So they kind of need someone to sit in the back, like Shuri, which is what her role is.
Yeah, Shuri, Storm. I mean, there's a lot of like these random characters in affiliation that are expected to even honestly, even Miles in a way fills this like hang out in the back role for a while. And maybe
Mhm.
mid game he jumps in and gets a little more crazy, but in the beginning of my games, that's how I run him. So yeah, these affiliations have characters like that, and she fits that role. So.
Yeah, they do. Mm-hmm.
But
Cool.
okay, let's actually do this tier list, guys.
All right, moving
Let's
on.
go.
So the first one is Ant-Man.
Ooh.
Anyone want to talk about Ant-Man?
So I think
I'll
Ant-Man is really great. He is very mobile, does a lot of damage. He's really great on secures. He kind of sucks on extracts. But he's really good at hunting people down with extracts. So he's kind of like, I feel like he's kind of like 3-threat Nebula a lot of the time. I think his tactics card is also his tactics card is pretty good, especially since like the opportunity cost to bring it is pretty low nowadays.
It's like Pin Particle or something.
Yeah,
particles.
it's like
yes.
you like choose an ally or himself, and then you can like throw a size 3 medium from one of those characters.
You get to choose
And
which one. It's like because you could throw it from the other character,
I
right?
don't know if it's from the ally or not. I have to double check.
I think it is from the
it's
ally.
like a size 3 throw. It's
Yeah.
pretty good.
It's pretty good. Yes.
I think he's inside. I think he has to be in range of the thing, and then he throws it to the other person. The other person throws it though. It's like range measured from the other
I think-
character.
Okay, he's got to be within. He chooses someone within 3, and then you choose a terrain feature within 3 of that character, and they throw it medium. And size 3 terrain.
Okay, so that the character
That's like pretty far.
that's very
It's
far.
Very far. It's very
Yeah.
far.
I think the problem for Ant-Man is, and this is maybe a good way to start this podcast, is are we really gonna count like affiliation value? Because it's awkward for this guy. He is not really wanted by his affiliations. I think you can make an argument.
He's only
that,
Avengers.
It's only
well,
Avengers. That's the
sure.
issue.
I mean, well, there's 3 leaders with Avengers.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say Sam kind of likes him, but then like so many other characters kick him out. But maybe they're wrong. I mean, maybe people need to be playing this PIM card because it can be played out of activation and it's got some power. And tactics cards have been watered down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna throw it out there and just right now say he's a B. But
That's where I feel as well.
I feel like,
like
he's a B.
what he's kind of like he's just not popular because I feel like he's just not wanted by his affiliations. I can't get over that part of it. So I think a lot of people would knee jerks put him at like C, or I mean, I don't think people are crazy enough to put him at D, but
No, no way.
the instinct is like, well, why isn't he seeing more play? And it's just like, well, he's not wanted. He's just
Right.
only in Avengers, and there's like a huge laundry list of characters, and maybe honestly, people are sleeping on him a tiny bit, especially like Mike said with the Tactics card. I'm gonna personally rate characters on this list based on the Tactics card they bring because that's part of the character.
Yes.
And we're definitely, in my opinion, in a meta that having a good Tactics card actually improves the character. I mentioned this last episode. I brought Mystique literally because she has Deception in my roster for X-Men.
Mhm.
If she didn't have Deception, I would have picked a different character. I'm telling you right now, because she's good. Don't get me wrong. I love Mystique, but she's not good
That
with
card
like
takes her over the top,
Deception.
though.
Yeah,
That card takes her over
Deception
the top,
is a
period.
tiebreaker.
Absolutely, it's a huge tiebreaker.
So I don't know. You want to leave
Yeah.
it at that, guys, or
Yeah, I think we can move on.
Yeah, you can move
final
on.
thoughts. Ant-Man, he's really good. He's just not in a lot of affiliations, and it's really a lot of their affiliations. Their 3 threats are fleshed out now.
Yeah.
And it's hard to splash 3s. I feel like.
Yeah. If you want to see my only take on Ant-Man is I just bought the box last week. It's been out for like a year. I have no intention of playing this character at all. Not that I think he's bad or anything. It's just I don't like Ant-Man, so I've never played a game with him. So
He's super fun.
I-
I'll tell you.
I'll tell you
yeah.
this though. I'll tell you this. I have been liking
Wasp.
I've
Oh,
been playing
spoilers.
Wasp. So
Oh man, is that why you bought the
she's a
pack?
little underappreciated.
Yeah.
We'll
she's
get to her later.
very underappreciated.
All right.
All right.
Let's go to Mordo.
Yep. All right, Mordo. I really, really like Mordo. The more I see people who are well experienced with Mordo, the more I like him.
Mhm.
He's like has like these weird oddball abilities that like don't scream at you. You're like, oh, this is awesome. But
Mhm.
I guess maybe his add dice is really cool. But his vaulting boots has been like oddly relevant in the games I watch him in,
Mhm.
and even Soul Barb on like the right scenarios.
Mhm.
His attacks are decent. I mean, he gives out hex. So if you play him on demons, he's like crazy. You can just like attack somebody in the middle, hex them, soul barb, give out incinerate and hex to like everyone.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's a fun support character with his ability to have extra power and then do things. Advanced R&D kind of restricted and all that stuff now, but
Right.
he was kind of an enabler. Mordo is definitely a support character, and support characters haven't had a great like history in the game. And so when a
can see
support
that.
character is liked by us, I think that is of note because it's not frequent. Am I out of place by saying that? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of the newer support characters are a lot better designed. AMG's kind of figured it out, I think.
I mean, out of affiliation, not having books, he makes me really nervous. I'm just gonna say it.
He's actually not that much more durable with books. I mean, he has 6 health, which is a big thing for him.
Mhm.
6'5".
Yeah.
You just have to be careful where you play him and just be cognizant. Hey, listen, against physical attackers, he's not the most durable. So you just have to be careful. Sit back with him. Gain your power. Like me, like I tried him out in Brotherhood a couple of months ago because I was trying to find. Someone mentioned it in the chat. Budget Thanos. My mindset was, okay, can I get the same out? Granted, it's Thanos. I'm not gonna get the same output, okay? But I'm just saying, like, how can I do it for 5 less threat and I can fit in somebody else? Was my mindset. And the way I was using it, it worked well. I mean, honestly, he had 4 or 5 power. Let me just do the math here for a second. Break a terrain, give him 1. He was at 2. He does his charge up. Yeah, so he was at 4 power, turn 1. And all I did was wait and get characters in position and then have Mordo sit back. And the other thing is too, I have magnetic refraction, so I can make him a little more tanky if they want to get to him. But I literally put him right behind Magneto. And whenever I need that boost dice to go to 8, I just give it to him. Now, granted, the downside is that you gain bleed, I believe, or damage. I don't remember.
You take
What is it?
damage.
You take a damage, yeah. So
Yeah.
yes, so you take a damage. That's the downside. But with refraction and Magneto having plus dice and all that stuff, he should be okay. Because getting that
Hmm.
plus 2 dice on a Magneto and just nuking a character is amazing. With rerolls and everything like that, it's just phenomenal. But again, you have to you have to understand that you can't put this character anywhere. You have to be really cognizant where you put him, and if he's in a position to succeed to help you out get that plus dice on certain characters that need it, he's really effective. And I like them in Brotherhood, honestly. It worked out well like I thought, and it's something I need to revisit at some point later on down the road. Because I'm playing far less. I've never played Thanos with my list. He's been in my list, but I've never played him, never fielded him. But I like what more. On top of that, the handing out conditions thing too is amazing. I'm gonna be playing Demons Downtown, so he fits there too. So those are my thoughts on Barimoto. Honestly,
Yeah, I think to move on, I think he ranks like upper B, A,
yeah,
approaching A tier for me. I don't know if he pushes A tier for me,
Well,
but
A is aggressive, but
yeah,
he's aggressive.
he's
Yeah,
like B somewhere for me for
he should
sure.
be.
let's
Yeah.
try to stick to those things I mentioned earlier. He's above average mobility with flight, a medium base, and medium
Yep.
move.
Yes.
He also,
Um,
when you play him in Convo, he also gets bump a lot from the leadership,
Yes.
and if he gets pushed,
yeah,
he just moves short.
we
So
we did an
Exactly.
episode. We did an episode long time ago about that and like how
Mhm.
important a medium base is to the bump. It like disrupts a lot of attacks
yes,
because of the range you're getting. I forget. I think it's like I don't remember. I think it's something like if it's a medium. No, only large base can disrupt a range 2 if you're base to base with someone. But often people are not base to base with you. So you could theoretically get out of like a range 2 attacker with a medium base if they're not
yeah,
like
he's
yeah.
surprisingly slippery. I was playing him
Surprisingly, yeah.
yesterday at the shop, and like he never dazed for me.
Yeah, one of my
So
favorite memories with him is I ran him into a sinister trap and then he used his boots to just go where I wanted.
Oh,
you
that's
know,
right.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, and he's got a push, so he's got control. He's anti-control, like as in like
Mhm.
people can't control him very well. I think he's fits in the like we said with Darkstar. He's got that like hang in the back role, and as long
yep,
as you don't have too many of those characters, I've played enough Storm to say take that character. Even on like
yep.
you said demons, he could be sitting in the back of demons. It's normally kind of a dangerous objective, but if you're hanging in the back, it's usually okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
to
dude, Mordo
Absolutely.
loves hanging on the home demon and just blasting people in the middle for power, and then
Yep.
just soul barbing or paying for tactics cards.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm down with the B. We can move on. I just
Yeah,
he's obviously not a nutrition piece. You're not going to
No.
take him for that. But and his survivability is a little bit on the unexciting side. But people are going to notice a theme. I'm willing to give characters a pass on survivability if they're like shooting range 3, range 4, like distances, mostly range 4 to be honest. But and if their role is generally to sit kind of further back, in general they're not as often people aren't shooting at them,
yep,
so and
yeah. I think
also
it's
yeah, worth also noting this is something we always mention with Valkyrie, but a character with 6 health is generally more durable than a character with 5 health and 4 defensive stats. So having that extra health just makes you that little bit harder to take down, and it is in itself a defensive stat.
Mhm.
So yeah, we can
Agreed.
leave it at that, guys.
Yeah.
All right, how about my boy Baron Zemo? I'm just gonna throw it out there and say I think he's an A. I
yeah,
think
Zemo's
he's
straight to A tier.
He's an A. I don't
yeah.
even think there's much of a debate here at all.
I
He's
think
an
this
A
is
tier.
he's been around long enough that most people that have played this game already know
Oh
everything
my
awesome
god.
about Baron Zemo.
Yeah.
I'll add that I love the fact that he just randomly has 4 Mystic defense, so he's got like
Yeah.
an unofficial 5 Mystic defense.
Mhm.
Um, I've played Baron in what feels like every affiliation. I mean, like Reroll Skull is cool with Web Warriors. I've played him with Doom Prophecy and Books in Convocation, where he just gets like 4 Mystic defense, or and like it's not legal anymore. But like Doom Prophecy gave him no physical defense, but then because of Books, he's using his 4 Mystic plus the
Oh.
reroll. And so, like, I don't
Yeah.
know, man. Baron Zemo just randomly is like so awesome for like even things that maybe aren't as frequently discussed.
Yeah. His action
he's
economy
off
is
the
just amazing.
charts mobility. He's off the charts like action economy.
Yeah.
He has great defensive tech and just above average survivability. He's a attrition piece. His one crime and the one reason he's not S tier is he cannot play control at all. It's like the
Correct.
one thing that makes him not like the most busted character in the game.
Correct.
Yep. All right, we've talked about Zemo a lot.
Yeah.
We know.
All right, Beast.
We don't need
Next
to
up is
continue that.
Beast. I think for me, Beast goes to B tier. I like Beast. I think he's a great role player, but he's not good all the time, and you don't really see him a whole lot outside of affiliation at all, really. But
Yeah.
sometimes you pull Mutant Madman, sometimes you need him for his throw and his mobility, and he's pretty good there. Other times he just gets blown up by energy dice or something or whatever, and he just doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
He really
Or
needs the X-Men cover for that 2 mystic or 2 energy defense.
Yeah.
He does.
I know that like probably if Jacob was here, he'd say, well, actually, he's got rerolls, and 2 energy with rerolls is about 3 anyway, and probably Jacob would be right. But you know what? I hate 2 energy, and like
Yeah, I
sometimes you
never
don't
liked
have
2
power,
energy.
and you know. Sometimes you roll like a skull or something. 2 energy still sucks. But he feels great in X-Men. I still play him in my current roster, and believe me, there's a lot of other choices I could have gone with. But Beast has the throw, so he can control people. He's survivable. He's fast with the medium base. His medium base helps the X-Men do the jumping thing. He could be an Avenger, but he gets a little outclassed. I think people probably sleep on Beast. In fact, I think that the guy Blair that I keep mentioning lately, he ran Beast in his Avengers roster. I'm almost positive. I mean, 1 power throw. Come on, he's fast and he throws. You could do double move, 1 power throw somebody off of back B. I mean, like, I don't know, man. Sometimes I think people sleep on Beast. I just played my game this week in the league, and I brought Beast over Domino, and that was even on Deadly Meteor because I was playing as Brotherhood, and I just having that 4+ reroll defense against Brotherhood who throw shit. I was very happy about that, and they do a lot of physical attacks. So, I mean, Beast is money against throws and physical attacking teams in general. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're killing. Beast is just really really good. His only negative, other than the energy we mentioned, is the forced teleport on his attack. I've had games where I just don't attack because I can't afford to get that wild to roll out and ruin my plans. And it kind of sucks. I kind of hope AMG fixes that someday. But
so chat asks if he's only ever affiliated, then why isn't he C? So earlier in the cast, B tier is like good affiliated characters. Think of C tier as like characters that don't even get picked in, or like they're suboptimal picks even in their own affiliation.
Yes.
So Beast is never a suboptimal pick in his affiliations. It's just whether or not he's a good pick for that game or that matchup.
Right. And yeah, which makes him a little bit unlike, I don't know how you said it, kind of like a counter pick or like good on certain. You said it better than me earlier. I can't remember.
Yeah,
the
like
terminology.
if you pull like Mutant Madman, like Beast is awesome.
Yes.
Right. But then if you pull like Spider Portals,
he's not
pretty sad.
Yeah, you might have to pick someone else in affiliation. I just think he's good enough when he's good that it overshadows the times he's not as good. And I don't think people should obsess over the energy defense, especially in X-Men, too much because he's often getting cover because energy attacks are usually far away. There's not many characters that actually attack you with energy very close. Like it's mostly like Killmonger and like Rogue or something.
Yeah, and he can still re-roll his energy dice. And
exactly.
He's got 6 health. So
anyway, good power economy. Yeah, he's just an overall good character. We can move on.
Looks like Black Cat's next.
Black Cat is next.
Felicia goes straight to A tier for me.
A tier, possibly borderline S, but I would put her at A tier.
No, S would be crazy.
S is crazy. But A tier. But I would say she was S like last year.
No, I just think she was hyped enough to feel S, but she
That's
never.
what I'm saying. That's what I mean. Like the hype was real.
I think she always has been A, and when she's good, she's real good. I mean,
I got her at A though.
The legacy
Yeah.
virus, like all according to plan, like steal the game, ultra win thing is awesome. But I don't. That's like also just a tactics card and affiliation. There's a lot of things going on there for that to all work out.
Right.
And that really only works because like Kingpin let you throw stuff onto her. But
True.
so that's not really like her exactly. But the things that are notable, she has high mobility. She doesn't really play the control game at all, but she's also scoring you VPs in a very unique way for the control teams. So it's debatable. Like we use the word control as generally meaning like you throw or push or advance someone, right? But she's got this weird like, oh, I just steal your VPs from like right, like think about it. If you push someone off a static secure, that's control, right? But if I just steal and extract from you, is that not also really control? Right? I mean, you're controlling an extract.
Yeah.
So here, I've played a lot of Black. To speed this up because we have tons of 3-threats, right? To speed this up, I've played a ton of Black Cat. What Black Cat does is she creates she has like this inertia or like a velocity towards tempo, and like as soon as she reaches power, she creates like this situation your opponent has to play around or just lose it to VPs.
Yeah.
So like, because she can just hang out. A lot of times you just double move her to the middle of the table, and then it's like R&D her round 3. Now she's got 3 power. She can go either side, take something, and leave. And she just creates like this VP pressure for your opponent a lot of the time. And that's and then on the backup, she can just spam stagger people like Magneto or Maw or something.
Yeah, and I think the stagger spam is the action economy discussion where she herself maybe is average-ish on action economy, whatever. I mean, she has her little bounce hop thing, but rarely are you doing like a hop because you want to claw slash someone. It's probably because you want to steal from someone. But the biggest thing is she's stealing your opponent's action economy, which I think is really interesting and a unique way of looking at action economy. Just stagger spamming a higher threat character. It's a trade for you. The Black Cat player is getting a trade up on the opponent with action economy. So I think that's just really interesting. But yeah, we can move on from that.
Black
I think
Cat's awesome.
Fits A.
Yeah.
Agent Widow.
Agent
Widow's next, I think.
Oh yeah, she's
Black
the 4. Yep. Yeah. Agent Widow. Sorry, I don't recognize them as much. Widow.
I mean, she's got stealth. She's got the rapid fire. She does have that interrogate, which can net you a VP. On paper, she doesn't seem.
Yeah, I think Widow goes C tier for me. She is playable in her affiliation. She has interrogate, which is an awesome superpower.
Yeah, it is.
But it is hard to justify her over other choices in her affiliations, I think.
I think, when Shield came out, everyone's like, we gotta try her again. And then in my opinion, I'm open to being wrong. I think everyone has elected to not go that route. For various reasons. I don't know.
I don't think she's not unplayable. She's very playable, but it's hard to justify her over
the other characters.
Options. Yeah.
I personally am thinking like when you take even like some kind of rapid fire spam, you're gonna like want like a Punisher over her. Punisher has that like action economy with the free movement, and then they both have rapid fire. They both have the rapid fire that always happens, right? They don't have like the mutant version.
It's her Punisher and Sin.
Yeah, so that is nice, but for physical defense is nice. Stealth is nice. I just think she keeps getting outclassed. And that's unfortunate for her.
She just doesn't do enough after interrogate, in my opinion.
Yeah, interrogate is like the best thing about her, and everything else is just eh. I don't even like using her other attacks, so just the rapid fire either.
This is probably
But yeah, I guess we can leave it there. Okay.
Next up is Sam.
Sammy boy.
Sam goes to A tier for me.
Okay, I want to say B.
I will say B because I've never really seen Sam played outside of his affiliation, really.
Well, so that's what I was gonna say. Chewy, I was gonna say the opposite of that. I think he might get A because he gets played out of affiliation. I know it's crazy. Yeah, like first of all, weirdly he's combos with Steve now with the whole
Oh, Steve Vengers thing.
You do like the double leader thing, and then what was it,
Yeah.
versatile
Oh,
strategy
versatile
thing.
strategy. Yeah.
I think in a weird way, and honestly, even before versatile strategy, like I know like Art was playing tons of Steve with Sam. Like I do think we need to redefine what dual affiliation even means anymore because we have so many double leaders in affiliations.
Mm-hmm.
But just the fact that he's actually really good with Steve, even if you don't play
Very good with
versatile
Steve.
strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sam. I mean, he's got an amazing leadership, right? He's a long
Yeah.
move, charge, flyer, like pushing. He can push like 4 characters. Like he's
Oh, he's
yeah,
sick.
like,
He's sick. He's sick. It's just
yeah.
where I have the hold up is like in his leadership. Yeah, I mean, A tier. That's not even
under Steve, Blair was telling stories about how he was doing like 1 power charge while no, he was doing like, first of all, like teleports. We forget this guy has
Yeah,
like the like
airlift.
Red Skull airlift.
airlift. Yeah.
But never mind airlift, which is a whole different discussion. But then doing like turn 1 charges and hitting characters, pushing that character back, and then ricocheting into a deployment zone character.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you're getting to nutty land, because that can happen.
Definitely.
You can push someone off map B into a deployment zone character and then push a character beyond the deployment zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam's great. He's A tier for sure.
Oh, and cover is irrelevant. Line of sight irrelevant.
Line of sight's irrelevant. Yeah.
X-Men sad. But yeah. Anyway, okay, we'll go
Me.
now.
Next up is Clea.
Now another character we can discuss.
That was the fastest D tier I've ever seen in my life. You didn't even like. Should we just put this character here?
Normally I hesitate. I have no hesitation. You guys are gonna have to convince me.
No, there's no convincing for me. The character okay. The character, whatever. It just doesn't add much, honestly. She's a worse Red Skull, in my opinion. She rolls the dice just like he does. He does the whole teleport thing. I think it's even a range less too. I think it's range 3 instead of range 4. Her attacks are meh. She's immune to incinerate. I've seen her played in convocation once. Outside of that, she sucks. She's in D tier.
Yeah, so unfortunately I wanted to like Clea, and like all of her abilities, like the ideas behind her abilities and her attacks seem fine. But then you realize that she basically always operates at range 3 with everything she does. And that's where the problem starts, because I think you have to have range 4 area of influence to be a backline character.
Yeah, even Red Skull has a range 4 energy
Red Skull
attack.
has it. Yes, he does.
Yeah, so that's been my experience. I've played Clea probably a handful of times. A lot of times, yeah, she can like gain power, move somebody, and then move to a point. That's like a decent round 1. But then after that, she just is never in range to build or anyone. So you're just like, cool, I'm gonna gain power and then maybe move another character, and then what am I doing with my other action? Because I have no power again. Right. So it just feels really awful.
It does.
Her spender's just not good. Like 6 dice for 3 power, and you just have like a bunch of hard triggers to hit.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, we're gonna say below average survivability, also kills herself. This character needed a range 4 gainer and 6 health, I think.
Yes.
You gotta build in the fact she's killing herself.
Right.
Below average defensive stats, sure. Maybe with books she's like a little better, but like Mike said, she's having trouble contributing to the game.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I actually appreciate that we got into Mordo before Clea, because it feels to me like a good example of like why Mordo is good and this character is not.
Right. Yeah, like gaining power, superpower is good. A character and terrain throw is good. A character place is good. But and Mystic attacks, cool. Immunity incinerate, good. But she operates at range 3 and she's too fragile. She has no action economy to deal with that, to operate at that distance.
She's like weaker Storm without stealth.
Yeah, she is.
And then sure, they both have the throw, but you can see Storm has the range 4, and that shock with Storm is like very relevant to try to reduce the opponent's output. She just doesn't offer that.
Nope.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, Wally
Yeah.
here with the stats: 21 convocation rosters, 5 clears. That says a lot. Yeah.
She
does,
was
man.
arguable only because of Herbs, and Herbs is dead. Ding dong, the witch is dead.
Yeah.
So, you know,
That's true.
I don't even know how you even get that. I guess you use like Wong and then give her power or something. I don't know. I give
Yeah,
up
don't
with
know,
that.
man.
I
All
don't
right.
want to
too
ever
much.
think about Herbs.
No
Yeah.
fun, Clea.
All right,
Next is
Crossbones.
Crossbones is hard for me. I've seen him do so much work sometimes, and
I-
other times he does nothing.
That's my problem. That's my issue with him. I think he's a C tier, man.
Yeah, he's C or B for me.
I got him
It's
at
tough
C
for me.
tier.
Like, I feel like Sin helps him so much, but then Sin herself has her own problems.
Yeah, Sin has her problems, and then I mean, yeah, he was seeing some play, about a year and a half ago when CS came out, and he was doing his thing there without Sin. But I just don't know what the small move, small base thing just is absolutely just it drives me up the wall.
Yeah, I think with the
I
addition of
just
like
yeah,
Lizard, Hood, Two Threat, Bullseye, and Black
right.
Cat, it's very hard to justify him in a syndicate list.
Very
So
hard right now.
I actually had like a sweet like Sin, Crossbones plus all you've got Doom Prophecy Carnage thing going on, and you could play like
Mhm.
both Cabal and Syndicate since they're both affiliated.
There you
But
go.
like half of what I just mentioned is banned from the game, and so like the meta's moved on.
Right,
like,
it's moved on. Yes.
I think Sin's holding him back, even though she's also the thing that made him kind of cooler. Having the husband and wife thing was really sweet, and I
Mhm.
think looking back in the history of the game, the husband and wife mechanic is probably one of the most busted mechanics that's ever been invented. So this guy, man, it's
Yeah.
a struggle. I think there's an argument for B, but I'm just gonna put him down as C because life just hasn't gone well for him. Illicit
That's-
Tech is also a really good tactics card.
Yes, that card's good.
Yes.
But yeah, I think we could settle on C because he's definitely not unplayable, which is what the D tier characters are, and
Yeah.
he's outclassed, I think, in his affiliations
Yeah.
at this point.
His mobility is also completely embarrassing. Please, Andrews,
Yeah,
just stop.
his mobility is just kind of RNG later on, where he needs power. Because if you can like do overpower chains, it's pretty good. Like he's pretty quick, but you
Yeah.
need like the characters to be there. If you need him to like just pivot to another point without having anyone to attack, he's slow as hell.
I've done that to Mysterios and Crossbones, and sometimes in the same game, where it's like map B, and I like completely shift the game to the opposite side, and it's just like now they're just stuck because
Yeah.
somebody's got to score the VP. They just can't rotate fast enough to do anything. So, anyway, we
Yeah.
can move on.
If we can move
Um,
on,
yeah.
yeah.
How about Crystal?
Ooh.
She is a tough one, man. Part of this, I think, to be fair to her, as an asterisk, Inhumans are not great right now.
Right.
I think she even struggles in Inhumans, unfortunately.
Really?
I think Crystal is actually a decent character. She's probably a B tier for me. She's definitely playable, and you can kind of like flavor. You can bring her if you want. Like
Yeah.
she's really good with special delivery in A Force.
True. Long mover.
and
Her tactics card is pretty cool too. What's the one that she has?
her texture is very
God,
good. That's true.
It's
Elemental
very
Fusion.
good, man. Yes, Elemental Fusion is amazing. The fact that
Yep.
she can deny you from clearing conditions as well, as
Yep.
long as you're within range 3 of her, is sick. It's just just Inhumans. It's just they're in a weird spot with the leadership and all that stuff, and I think she's fine at B. I mean,
I think so, too.
She's
She's very
competing
playable.
there. She's
I think
playable.
so. She's
like
actually
man for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
she's actually above average at literally everything,
yeah.
except for perhaps action economy, because she is. But even then, she can get a second attack through her elemental
Through her
onslaught.
superpower, right? Yeah, she can get another attack
So,
or something else.
She
right?
pushes people with her hurricane blast. She has the 3/3, but she gets rerolls on defense, so that usually helps.
Mhm.
It's just a little weak to throws. I'm gonna go with B. I think we can move on, but
I think we agree.
I think if you go down the checklist of all the things we talked about, those 5 things, she's kind of like above average on literally all of them.
Agreed, 100%.
Okay.
So, it's like Deadpool's next.
Deadpool.
I think Deadpool's C tier for me.
It's close to like where I feel like maybe if you can find in the future can spam exceptional healing users. It's
Yeah.
just so awkward. The fact that his guns don't gain any power at all.
That's
Yep.
annoying. It's so annoying. I don't understand why it doesn't get any power. I don't understand why it's not a gainer. Like, do you really think you're gonna hit bang 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 like often?
I just
Especially with
think
how crappy Cable's leadership is. Like,
my
I don't understand the design. I'm sorry. I just
no, no, I get it. I just wish he had gained 1 power on the first shot, and
Yeah.
then the bangs can't get you power. I think that immediately
Yeah.
solves his problem. I remember thinking his bang was overpowered, and then freaking Moon Knight came out, and Moon Knight just freaking gained in power like a savage at range 4. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, hold on a minute. You can't tell me
Right.
this one's too good and then give me this.
Give me this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
I think Deadpool struggles. He doesn't really have a lot to do on his card.
No, he
I mean, he
doesn't.
can maximum effort's a good spender. His Merc with the Mouth is decent, but he doesn't. He's almost never like building power because his guns just don't give power.
Yeah.
So-
Unless you're like sorting people, which is rare, he's too fragile to do that a lot of the time.
Mhm.
So he's average mobility. His survivability is extremely average. I feel like it should be more than it is.
His
But it
survivability is
isn't.
pretty decent because him
He's
being
got a
injured
reroll.
doesn't affect anything. He has a
Yeah.
reroll and he has access to exceptional.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I think
It's
his
just the
survivability
4
is
health.
actually pretty
His
good.
4 health though, like
He needs to be a 5 health, I think.
he creates for you the opponent swing turns because of his 4 health, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Where like randomly you can ignore him a little bit, and then when you really need something to go your way, you just pick on this guy with the 4 health.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, sure, you don't maybe kill him. He's got 6 health on the other side, which is much more survivable. Like you guys said, he's got the reroll. But I guess my point is, if this guy gets dinged up, like let's say he's holding like a cube or something, or maybe you just hit him for a couple damage and throw some shit into him. Like he's gonna go down that first run, you know.
Yes. Yep.
So, it was very brave design for them to give 4/6, but like, I don't know, AMG. Like,
Yeah,
I kind of
dude,
wish he
yeah.
was just a 5/6 and call it a day. Personally,
Yeah.
that's where I'm giving him the negative on survivability. Maybe you don't kill him, but the fact that you can daze him so seemingly easy, it's just, I don't know. It's a little sus to me.
Yeah.
He also doesn't reroll on the throws, right? He only rerolls like an inhuman.
Right. I don't think he
Yeah.
gets dodge rerolls.
Yeah, so
Correct.
like you just throw a trash can at this guy and it's
And
just
he's dead.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
I
I
think,
think it's
to
tough.
be an attrition piece in this game, you need to be far above average. I think he's just like
Yeah.
just a bit above average, but not like far. He's not Baron Zemo, you know.
No.
Funny
definitely
enough,
not.
I've played them together and it's really fun, but it still
Mhm.
suffers from he has trouble gaining power. Also, they rotated Blind Obsession, which was really entertaining with this guy. But
Yeah, it
that
was.
doesn't exist. He's got a
Yeah.
little bit of the anti-control that pretty much everyone forgets is on his card, but it's just not enough. He's just barely a miss either. I'm not gonna like dog this guy like he's unplayable or anything. He's not hanging out with Clea.
Right. He's not in the Cleo
Yeah.
thing at all. I mean, he's just whatever. And what kills me about Deadpool is like he's such a fan favorite, and it's just you just look at his card like, damn it. Like
Yeah,
All
he's
right. Next
yeah.
up,
anyway.
we got Ock.
Doc.
Throw him in
I-
throw him in D tier right now.
Really?
Throw his ass in
No.
throw his ass in D tier.
Ock is B or C for sure.
Doc is not a B. Don't stall me on that. Don't start. Doc is not a B.
I don't think Ock
Even
is that
in
much
his-
different than Beast.
Mm,
Honestly, like Ock has
Yeah.
a well-laid plans.
Wait a minute, okay,
a lot of the time.
here's
I
the-
mean,
does okay? They both have the same throw, don't they?
no, Ox costs 1 more, but he can
Further
throw from
distance.
size 3.
No, Octo size 2.
Right, but
Uh,
he pick up range 3.
for range
Beast
3,
is
where
range 2.
Beast is
Oh,
range
that's
2.
what you're saying. I'm sorry. I thought I missed you. I'm sorry. I thought I misheard you there. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So range 3. So what does Beast throw? What's the size?
Size 2.
Both
His
for
range
size
size
2.
two?
size 2.
So the only difference is his is range. Okay.
Hubris and
they-
Beast
they
spell
both
rolling
have-
are basically the same thing.
Yeah.
They both have something where they gain a power, which okay.
They're
maybe.
both wall crawlers.
Has like the same stat line. He's just as fast as Beast.
I don't know,
In fact,
man.
Ock has like a better stat line, but he doesn't have dodge or he doesn't have rerolls on
He
Beast.
doesn't have the
reroll or
rerolls.
anything. He doesn't
Their
have any
spender
reroll.
is like equally bad. on both of them, and
both
Ox
terrible.
Strike is probably better than Beast Strike, honestly.
I don't know about.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
I would say
won't
they're
go that
roughly
far.
even.
It being
Sure,
a 4-dice.
even. But I think Ock is very comparable to Beast, and
I
he
can
has
see the
all-
comparisons.
He also has well-laid plans.
Yeah, he does have well-laid plans. He does have a nice tactics card. At least with Beast, man, I can make an argument. I can put him somewhere and he can be effective. I can't make an argument for Ock to be anywhere outside of Spider Foes and be effective.
Yeah, but I think Ock is solid in Spider Foes, though. He's good.
I think he's well.
I'm gonna say
there are days I could play without him. And I would rather
I mean,
play
dude,
Lizard.
I could tell you, like, if Ock was Criminals affiliated, he'd get playing Criminals for sure.
Probably.
You could probably play him over Lizard.
Probably.
So
sure.
here's where I'm gonna say
because he's affiliated. Because then he'd be affiliated.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's the same speed as Beast. There's a lot of similarities, but let's just say, okay, I think he should be a C, and here's why.
Okay.
The 2-power throw on Beast is better than 3-power throw. I get it that this is range 3, but 2-power versus 3-power, we know there's a big difference there. That to me is alone, and then Beast does have the rerolls, which includes throws, and so Beast is definitely more durable. You roll 4 physical dice, then you get full rerolls or whatever with the power you have. I mean, it's just better, man. Yeah, I don't think there's a dramatic difference, but I think these little differences add up, and I do think that Beast's B, he's a C.
Ock's got 2 more defense on energy, or 1 more defense on energy and Mystic versus Beast rerolls. So I mean,
as we discussed, it's a bit of a wash on the energy, but Beast is mostly concerned about the dodge rolls, which is physical, right? And so having 4, which are both equal, but then you're also getting full reroll on 4. That's pretty damn good, dude.
Ock is a B tier for me, for sure.
Really?
Like I said, he's also got well-laid plans. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm just saying Chewy and I might have to outvote you on this.
Right. I played Ock enough.
Chewy's also played way more Ock than you have.
I played a lot of Ock. But like my thing, I'll go C. How about this? I'll go C. He's C.
Yeah, Ock is nowhere.
You're not going to D, Chewy.
I won't go to D. I know. Listen, I got a certain, love-hate with Ock.
Well,
so, I played him enough. Yeah. But, I'll go C. I won't go D. We'll go C. Talk me out of D.
All right, fine. Let the pod be known that I want Ock in B tier, but I'm overruled.
So. Yes, you are. He's never splashed, but to be fair, neither is Beast. So.
Yes, correct.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, B's a little too generous, I think. Yeah. I think actually Doc needs one little thing to go to B, but I don't know actually what that is, and AMG couldn't buff him because they printed him in foil or some bullshit. So.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Whatever. All right, let's go to Domino. That's the character I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Domino's B tier for me, I think.
Yeah, I wish she was A, but she's never splashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference, honestly.
Domino's really good at killing, and she's pretty good at not dying, but everything else, not so much.
Yeah, it's honestly not a lot to say about her. Just high on survivability, high on attrition. One of the best attrition pieces in the game. Yeah. And survivability and the ability to kill things, it's what more you want? I mean, sure, she can't control people, but she demands respect if you come near her.
Oh,
yeah. A little bit of support with the incinerate thing, but that's just generally a once per game kind of mechanic. I don't know. It's kind of obvious with her. She's just really good, and she is best in affiliation. I mean, if she is affiliated, I think you should be playing her or strongly considering it. And that's that she's not even close to a C. This is not even a discussion.
No.
I'm playing X-Men. Domino's in. She's going in. She's just that good.
Yeah, I mean Domino's bordering A tier, but she's just not. She doesn't have that splash factor for me. So
it's only because she doesn't splash that I'm not putting her at A. Yeah. But I think even if such we did this on purpose. We explained what A, B, C, D means in the beginning, and based on our rules, she's staying at B. But she's in A in her affiliation.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah. Sure. All right. Let's move on.
Looks like Drax is next.
Drax is next. Oh boy. This is a tricky one, man.
He's tricky.
Drax is B or C for sure.
100% B or C. We've
The
learned
thing
over
is-
time that surviving is important. He's like, I want to compare him really to Lizard. I think that's historically the thing that they get compared between each other. It's just like he's aggro Lizard. Lizard's more like survivable.
And
Good in
Lizard has some
roster.
long-range attack.
Nobody's gonna splash this character, and he's
Yeah, I
probably
think
never gonna be affiliated out
Bringing
of
Drax
Guardians.
is even like a toss-up in Guardians a lot of the time.
True.
Because especially since Groot's so good now.
Yeah.
So
Groot's
and they have
really
the double.
good,
They're
yeah.
both their 2 threats are great, and their leaders are 3 already. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think Drax is a role player. He's probably C.
Situational role player in affiliation.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, that's
he's-
that's where
I will say, because I don't want people to think we're down on Drax. He's not a D even close. Like,
Yeah.
he's very solid.
Yeah,
It's just
Drax
not
is
much
very
more-
playable, and he does have a role, but he's not every game, even in his own
Mhm.
affiliation.
Right.
So,
Oh,
next
man.
up is Gambit.
The big G.
Gambit's a C.
Oh, man. Listen, I actually was thinking this morning. I sit laying in bed, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm very close to
All right.
actually doing a me only podcast, just one episode about Gambit. I think I could fill an hour about why I feel the way I do about Gambit, but we're not gonna do that here today.
No,
But-
we're not.
Yeah.
I have thoughts.
Yeah, objectively, so I've played Gambit a good amount now. I've been playing X-Men randomly.
Yeah,
I wanted to put Gambit on the table just to assess him fully, and he's fine. Like he's some. I mean, he's just like does his dice roll well? Then he feels pretty decent. But like that's every character, and his bow staff is like surprisingly cool sometimes. Adding dice can be cool. All of his superpowers are like not like they're all like appropriately costed, but by appropriately I mean hard to use a lot of the time, and he is just very fragile, right? And he's a fragile character that operates at range 3 for basically everything, which is a hard place to be. And I think there are other 3s in X-Men and potentially Brotherhood that outclass him. I mean, Brotherhood really just have Mystique at 3, right? With
No,
Mystique at
Quicksilver.
3, Quicksilver 2 is
Quicksilver,
another
yeah.
one.
I choose Quicksilver over him personally, but
Yeah.
I can
I would
more
choose
see
Quicksilver
the
over him,
argument than to not pick Quicksilver because you could theoretically throw power on Gambit. The thing is, if you're playing Magneto, I don't see you playing Gambit, so that
No.
negates the argument that he'll have power with Brotherhood.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think Gambit's safe at C. He's definitely not the best in his affiliations, and he's not unplayable either. So
Yeah.
No,
I have
he
my-
is the very definition of average in this
Yeah.
game. It just makes me sad because
I know.
he's my favorite. You guys don't have a clue like how much
I mean-
Gambit. I own all his comics. Like I have I got his picture
I mean,
on my
Cyclops will
phone.
be living at C tier with Gambit as well if we were doing 4 threats. So, and Daredevil will
Yeah.
be living in D tier. So C and D respectively. There
But-
you go.
I don't know, man. Look, I'd like to go over quickly though. His biggest crime in my book is that he has terrible action economy. The game is giving you this idea that you can do you get attacked, you do his little parting shot, and then he survives, and he doesn't have stealth, but hopefully the opponent doesn't have any more attacks or whatever. He probably should have stealth. But hypothetically, in this scenario, he survives, okay? Awesome. And, maybe your opponent doesn't throw something at him and instantly kill him. But somehow he lives. Okay, now what do? You're going to move once and then bow staff someone with 4 dice, probably push them 80% of the time, but it's not 100%. And God help you if he doesn't get moved, because now there's this really angry thing standing next to you. But you push them away. Arguably, pushing them away might ruin their action economy, which we discussed earlier on something like Black Cat. But that's his turn, man. There's no much more to him. It's just really unfortunate to me. I wish he had hit and run so bad. I picture in my mind, Gambit is an agile guy. You throw some cards, he does some crazy ninja flip thing, and then he's standing next to you. Then he bow staffs you. You get pushed away. To me, that's a good balanced character. His offense is very average, so I don't understand why they feel the need to rob him of he's got average defense and bad action economy. That to me, that's a horrible
Right.
combination. Like, Domino is high damage, but she isn't the greatest action economy either because she has to maybe move. But Domino hits so damn hard that even if you did have to move and shoot, she's gonna still probably blast you pretty hard.
Right.
Gambit doesn't even have that going for him, man. So I don't.
doesn't.
I could seriously do an entire podcast episode about what I have wrong with Gambit. But I'm
The other thing
happy.
I don't.
Yeah, I think he's a C. I definitely don't think he's a D.
No, he's not a D tier. He's a C tier, and he's not a B. Anybody that says he's a B, I don't know what you're talking about. The thing is like the other thing that kills me about this character too is like he should have he should be able to change his attack from physical to energy. Does anybody know? He charges his abilities with kinetic energy.
Yeah.
Literally, if you watch him in the damn cartoon, since they're basing this off the 90s cartoon, what the hell does he do with his cards? He charges them up with energy and tosses them. So I don't understand why he doesn't have that option to switch from physical to energy. And the other thing is to
Chewy, I agree with you, but like to rest this case, it literally on his card, I'm showing it on the screen, it has an energy attack, okay? So the card itself makes him a hypocrite.
Yeah, the card makes him a hypocrite.
Spender, which is throwing cards as energy, and then his builder that is throwing a card is not energy. Like, it doesn't make any sense. That's weird to me. But yeah,
kinetic energy is a physical force. Just saying. All right, man. All right.
Okay.
All
yeah,
right.
I gotta. Yeah, we don't.
You
keep
guys
going.
leave with Gwen.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we know the love affair that is Mike and Gwen. Okay, you guys have to get a room. But yeah, Ghost Spider is, first of all, let's forget rating. Probably one of the most fun characters to play in this game. I mean, if Gambit puts me to sleep, Ghost Spider wakes me up. This character is so fun to play. Like even from day one, I was using like aim lackeys to get a free move, and then she could do all her punches and move some more, and just all the cute stuff. You can do like move, pull someone close to you, punch them, then she moves again, and then pull someone else. I mean, it's size infinite displacement. She's one of the biggest gotchas in the game.
Yes, she is.
Mike he's done it to me. It embarrasses me every time. But the guy says lifesaver, and you're like, "Ah, shit."
And
like, come on, how many other characters on here make you embarrassed? Show me. There's not many. It's literally this character. Like, this character will make you feel bad about yourself. She's that good. She's mega control, mega mobility. Her survivability is not great at all. But if you play her correctly, she's probably range 4 or even further back because she's more behind another character like Miles or something. I don't know. Also, just tangent, she combos great with stealth because you're pulling people out of their attack range, and then now they're stealth, and so you can't even do anything after that. I mean, I know Mike probably has 87 more things to say about her, but she's a damn good character. One of the reasons web warriors are as good as they are.
Yeah, Gwen's awesome.
She's ruined many of my tournaments. Many of my matches. Yeah. I mean, I get lifesaver to lose. It's great. I constantly have to think about her all the time. I have to like sit down and like measure things out and make sure she's within 4 of a character so she can lifesaver them, and then I can't attack them. She ruins my action economy. It's great. It's phenomenal. It gives me headaches every single time I play against her. I think honestly, this character, I have her at A, but I think she needs to be in a conversation borderline A to S, in my opinion. I think she's A+. Like, I think she's A+. I think what doesn't put her S tier is like you said, the survivability. She can dive really quickly, and she doesn't have stealth or anything like that, right? But
having access to all webbed up helps her a ton because she can randomly burst people when you need to, and that is why she's not splashed as much as you would think. Also, things that she enables, a lot of game plans just like can't facilitate that.
Yeah,
like web warriors create like a critical mass of like a bunch of like control VP stealing effects and like screwing up your opponent's action economy with lifesaver and troublemaker and slows, that she helps with that. And a lot of teams, like, they can pull that from her, but they don't get the rest of it to like push over the top, if that makes sense. So,
I've always said when I have to beat Web Warriors, it's basically I measure it by if I can take her out.
So you can take her out. Yeah.
If I can I can daze and KO her like turn 2, 3, I feel pretty good about my
Feel
win.
good, yeah.
And if I don't, I'm probably losing, and it makes me real sad.
Yeah.
I don't think she's overpowered though. I don't think she's S because Chewy, like, she does have weaknesses.
She does.
She's
yeah.
5 health, 333 stats.
Yes.
That can be sometimes just Ebony Moth throwing a dump truck in your face.
Yeah.
You know, like the smart players won't let you do that, and she'll be far back and protecting things like maybe Toad or whatever. I mean,
Yep.
she just brings all the obnoxious control that Mike enjoys so much.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, I that's the only reason why I don't put her S. I mean, I think she's A+ though. I think she's just amazing.
I think her limit is the how well you play her too, which is super exciting.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
You watch just a random person play her, she probably does die on turn 2 or 3.
Oh yeah, I've seen that a lot, by the way.
Yeah.
It happens a lot.
She makes you feel smart though when you play her well, and that's
Yes.
one of the reasons we even play this game at all. So yeah, I'm
Cool.
good.
Yeah, Gwen's great.
Say officially, should we put her at A?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if Mike. Real quick, why is she not an S? Did I cover it? Like her low health pool and
Yeah,
she's-
I mean,
she's not, like,
She's just not game warping. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
she's not played in every
She's-
affiliation. Most people might consider her. We've always joked that when we played X-Men, she was always our 11th character.
yeah, Gwen's been my 11th character in a lot of lists.
Yeah.
She just doesn't quite make the cut all the time. That's what I'm saying. She needs like a critical mass of like disruption effects from other characters to make her what she does more impactful.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Is it Huck? I know Groot. Groot
Groot's
is next.
So Groot's hard for me. I think he's B, bordering on A, maybe even A. I think
he's
It
Groot-
might be. This is tricky because he kind of comes as a package. He's almost like a Corvus Proxima right here.
So I think even Groot might. Man, it's hard. I think he's pretty solid. Yeah, chat says if he's with Rocket, he's an A, but
He's always
that's
with
tough.
Rocket, right?
Yeah, it's hard to
Yeah.
say. I do think him and Rocket as a package are A tier for sure. And I
Agreed.
think Groot's root and his durability are really good.
Yeah, this is a tough one to.
It's
I can't.
really
I
hard to
can't
gauge
talk
him.
about him
Yeah.
without Rocket. I really
Without
can't.
Rocket, exactly.
And then is
like-
he even a 3 threat? I mean, it's like cheating.
Right.
He's
I mean, I
really more like a
consider when you-
5, but
Yeah, when you package characters like that, I consider it a 5 threat at that point. It's like you're bringing 5 threat.
But-
they come together when they're together. They're freaking amazing.
So
Yeah, we should probably just consider Groot on his own for now.
On his
And
own,
he probably
yeah.
lives in B tier for that.
B
reason.
tier on its own. Yeah, 100%.
that's true because maybe someone doesn't want to bring him. Yeah, I mean, it's hard for us to believe, but it's possible someone could want to bring Groot solo in another affiliation or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you can play We Are Groot with just Groot, right? Out of affiliation.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
That card's really good.
but he does
Groot
bring a
is like an
Tactus
8
card.
effect.
He brings a Tactus card with Rocket that
Yeah, and
is
he has that card.
absolutely insane. Like, I think that card is the closest thing we're gonna get to all you got for the current future and right now.
Yeah.
What's the name of the card again? I always forget the name.
Deadly Duo.
Deadly Duo. Yeah, that card is multiple attacks
Oh my god.
for
it's
free
bonkers.
out of within activation, I guess, but still, like, I mean, you're doing like 5 attacks, and then you could
Oh my
theoretically
God.
do a follow me on that. So now
Yeah,
you've just added 2 more actions to it.
right.
I mean, guys, I might be willing to say A, completely biased, but because Rocket exists, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm willing to say he could be an A. I mean, he's played in a team that literally just won last season.
Yeah.
And even though we say he's 2 characters and 5 threat, yeah, that still builds like one of the cheapest teams in the game.
Yes. it
Yeah,
does.
I could definitely agree that Groot would be at A threat. A threat.
Like,
A
the
tier, for
threat
sure.
isn't even a punishment. Like, you're
Right,
doing
right,
you're doing Star-Lord, Groot, Rocket.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
if we were ranking Rocket, Rocket would go in A tier for me as well. So
Yeah.
The only thing is we're kind of breaking one rule is he's not really splashed. But maybe people are just wrong.
well,
Is
Rocket
it-
and Groot are splashed as a duo.
Together.
Sure.
Yeah.
Who's splashing them? Just out of like, because the
Well,
Tactics
chat
card's
says-
unaffiliated.
Somebody in chat says I'm playing with Shadowland
Shadowland
Daredevil.
Daredevil. No.
I know Sooner was just playing Rocket, right? Or maybe not anymore. I don't know if he was playing Rocket Groot in his defenders list, but
Yeah,
I've seen Rocket Groot laying around in random places.
Apparently, he's in a lot of Shadowland Daredevil lists. I
It
didn't.
makes sense with the Tactics card to get 5
Yeah.
rerolls plus follow me could be potentially like 7, or if you follow me to a rapid fire character, I mean the
Yeah.
sky's the limit, right? You could be rerolling
Yeah,
like 10
Good.
plus, right?
yeah. I think the community's still figuring out. Like, we're still figuring out that Groot is probably good outside of affiliation as well.
Yeah,
I've
Okay.
been nothing but impressed with his durability and his heal and his
his healing
root.
and yeah,
His root
roots.
is so disruptive
It's
for
so
like
disruptive.
Magneto Thanos
Oh my
lists. Like,
God.
it's such a pain in the ass to deal with.
Yes, it's really good.
Okay.
And if you hit him and he like doesn't die, he can just stagger you and throw you. It's like
Mhm.
screws up your action economy even more.
He's also a lot
Yeah.
harder to kill when all you've got
Yeah,
is
he's
in
got
the
like
game.
14 health with healing.
He's
or
got a
something
ton
like
of
that.
health, man. Healing, yeah.
Offense is
yeah.
a bit like, I don't know. I mean, offense is up because Shadowland Daredevil exists, but we don't have Blind Obsession and a lot of other nonsense going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
True.
all right, well, we hit up Hawkeye now.
Yeah, I think Hawkeye's probably C for me.
Yeah.
I think
He
so
doesn't do
too.
enough.
He struggles even in the affiliations he's in, which is a telltale sign.
Yeah.
Granted, he's in affiliations with a lot of competition, so unfortunate for
Yeah.
him, I guess. He's in Defenders, Avengers, and Shield,
Shield. Yeah.
and I literally don't think any of them play him.
Yeah, it's a toss up in Shield. I
Sure,
think
but
Shield, it's just, I mean, it's hard. It's just because Shield doesn't have any like outside. They have to bring a bunch of 3 threats,
They do.
but he's at least number 3 after Iron Man and Bucky.
I honestly think it's similar to Gambit. It's just better choices.
Yeah,
Like, you're gonna bring Bucky, and Iron Man's really good now, so that alone is difficult to overcome. So
mhm.
I'm down with the C for him.
Yeah, I'll go with C for you.
His defensive stats are not great. He doesn't
His
have
health
any
pool's low.
control
His health pool's
mechanics.
really low. Not
Yeah.
Doesn't spend power well.
Nope, does not. Hook arrows. I mean, hook arrows fine.
He
Hook
pays
Arrow's
for
really
tactics.
good.
He pays for tactics
Uh,
cards, but that's
yeah.
less a thing now.
Avengers and Defenders like don't really have cards that you need to pay for, other than I guess Helios Laser, and Shield has a bunch, but again, it's still probably just Helios Laser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he does have the trick shot, which is a nice cover.
And Bucky can help pay for the Helios Laser
yeah,
pretty
Bucky
well.
pays for cards very well.
yes,
too.
he does. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know that we should dwell on it. It just
No.
Yeah.
he's since he's not a control piece, his offense is actually pretty damn average. I mean, he's just a 5
It
dice
is, yeah.
attack.
It's just a
He-
5 dice attack.
He gets to change the types, but that's mostly like a plus or minus 1 die at best.
right.
So yeah, and he negates cover, which annoys X-Men or the Magneto card, or maybe on Scoundrels thing. So there's like a little bit of relevancy there, but for the most part, his offense is very average. He's good on action economy, but he's overshadowed, sadly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All
All right.
Next up is Hood.
Hood.
Row 3.
The man, myth, the legend.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh well, yeah.
That's
Heimdall.
that's
Sorry,
Heimdall.
Heimdall.
Oh, Heimdall.
Yeah, you
Heimdall's
miss
next.
Heimdall.
I think Heimdall's B tier for me.
I think he's B right now. That's a safe place to put him. He's got some really cool stuff that he's bringing to the game right now, and I think everybody's experimenting with him a little bit. I know he's got some legs in Steve Avengers with the -1. Brotherhood, you can do some stuff with fishing and power, and he could do some rerolls there. I think right now, it's safe to say B right now. I don't think he's anything
Yeah.
less than that.
I think you could. Heimdall might even move down to C in the future.
I
Maybe.
agree.
I have not been
It's
super
possible.
impressed with him. I think he's okay.
Yeah.
And I think he'll see play in Asgard because they need 3 threats. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if people bring Scourge over Heimdall.
I agree with that statement.
Scourge,
too.
Valkyrie, Thor, or something like that.
Well, and
Yeah.
Scourge has that super awesome tactics card. I love that card.
Well, he needs Enchantress for that. But yes.
She's not that bad, but yeah.
No, she's good. But it's just more characters you got to pull, right?
I am. If he goes to A, it's because somebody in Steve Avengers breaks him entirely in a way that
Mhm.
maybe we haven't seen or not ready for.
I I've seen him in Steve Avengers, and you just ignore him. You let your opponent do the
Yeah.
rerolls, and you don't really care, and it's whatever. Like
Pretty
if
much.
he doesn't generate power well at all outside of his 2 that he gets in a turn.
Yeah.
Like he
Agreed.
really needs to like spike on an attack, or your opponent needs to like try to kill him, and then he magically lives or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he's pretty impactful. But other than that, he just kind of stands around.
He can
He
buff
just
his
does.
stats,
He really
but
does.
he can buff his defensive stats to be harder to kill. But my strategy personally has been to ignore him, and it's
Yes.
worked
Yeah.
out for me. So
Yeah.
maybe sometimes you can't ignore someone, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think B's fine, and I am totally willing to accept him at C at some point in the future. I think he's a little
Yeah.
overhyped.
I agree.
Okay.
Hood's next.
So
Hood's
where the
next.
Oh, there he is, my boy.
There
Yeah.
he is. The
That's A
man, the
tier
myth,
for
the
sure.
legend. A tier. The young man heals. He's got rapid fire. He works well in Shadowland Daredevil. What else can we say about him? I mean, when he goes to his lizard form, he can kill people. Like he's just an amazing character. Like,
Yeah,
I
Hood's
love him.
like pretty freaking durable. He's got amazing attacks. All of his attacks are great. He's got a freaking med pack. He's got count blanks on defense.
Yeah.
He is easily first picked in all of his affiliations, and he's like the second most played character in the league. So
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
only
Enough
thing
said. Yeah.
we mentioned 5 things, and the only thing he struggles with is he can't move people. That's it.
he can't move people, and his flipping flip secures that aren't sword is a little sketch, but that's
Yeah.
it.
Sure. It's still not that, assuming he's trying to flip things and it's just him. I mean, it's still
Yeah,
like a pretty
it's
decent
okay.
chance. Yeah. I think it's like what 50 times 2 dice 50%, right? So I mean,
Yep.
you should get it.
Yeah,
I think
in theory, yes.
Yeah.
So-
Anyway, yeah, I don't know that we dwell on Hood. The healing,
No, there's not much to do.
he attrition, mystic attacks is
He's fun to play,
the
too.
super invulnerability is insane. Like
Yeah.
Yep.
amazing against throws. Yeah. All right. Hood's
Cool.
great.
Looks like
Um,
Iron Fist now.
There he is. Yep.
Yep.
God, if we did this a year ago, he would end up being here, right? S tier. But I think
Yeah.
the
Especially with Heroes
meta,
for Hire, by the way.
the community has gotten soft on him. I possible A, because Heroes for Hire is still probably top 5 best character tactics card in the
my
game.
God. Yes.
I mean, is that
Yeah,
good.
Iron Fist is like B, bordering on A, probably in B.
I have him at B.
Yeah,
I have him at B. I
Iron
mean,
Fist is really good. He has good attacks.
yeah.
He only spends power on his spender. Here's for Hire is
Mhm.
like one of the best cards in the game, so he has that.
And he has super martial artist too, which is
He
So-
does. He's like weirdly durable sometimes.
yeah.
maybe to explain him and why he's a B and not an A, I can explain why I didn't put him in my X-Men list. Is back to our rules, he doesn't have any form of control. He can activate someone, which is kind of control, but I mean that's a once per game thing, right? So
pretty much, you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it 2 times in the game. You're not. Yeah.
and its reliability is questionable. I mean, I've had games where I've played a lot of Midnight Suns like back in the day, and if I didn't have like the Siege of Darkness card, I just wouldn't be able to even use his card properly. Because if you displace him enough, it's just like not enough range often to like do a, because he does move extremely average. He's a short base, medium move. So sometimes you just move and you just aren't in range 2 of like that super annoying character, you know. But anyway, his actual attrition is very mediocre to, it's very average. It's like literally the very definition of average, right?
It's average.
He doesn't have any boost in any way. His survivability is above average unless you're playing against Mystic, and then it's just horrendous. He's weak against throws, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
So like I'd rate his survivability above average, but like with like asterisks. Offense very average, and then doesn't reposition anyone. So
Right.
really,
Yeah.
it's just the tactics card, which is a stellar tactics card, but I don't know that like sells me on unaffiliated, picking him.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I mean, a lot of his turns are just move, jump kick, which
Yeah.
is like not the most impactful thing.
Right.
So, yeah,
That's fine.
he's good.
Yeah, he functions with his kit, and his tactics cards is amazing. So that's where maybe he
Yep.
even could be arguably a C to a B. But yeah, all right, we can move on.
It's like Iron Man.
Iron Man.
I think Iron Man goes to B tier as well.
Iron Guy. Yeah, he's B tier to me.
Iron Man
His
is
action
just
economy is kind of meh, but he's got a good attack. He's got a Helios laser, which is good. He's
He can-
durable.
he can move any size in the game.
Yep.
He could. Yes, he
Yeah,
could.
how many people can say that? Yeah, I mean it's kind of weird because like under Steve's leadership, he's just kind of insane with like the fact he can roll the 6 dice attack
Yeah.
constantly.
Mhm.
Well, assuming your dice are roughly average, you're probably going to be able to just constantly blast things. He's
Right.
got not great action economy, but he's got the control and the durability. And mobility is very average, but he does fly. And yeah, what am I missing? His
That's
attrition
about it. I
ability.
mean,
Yeah, his attrition is
it's
actually
okay.
under Steve. It's slightly above average, I guess. But it's
Maybe.
not like anything crazy. And then Helios Laser is a crazy card sometimes.
Yeah, you gotta
in
have
the-
the right setup for Helios laser.
you do.
Like it's got to be the right kind of opponent. You got to have the right amount of characters that can
Yeah.
fuel it.
Full power.
His
yeah.
attrition's very dice dependent, obviously. Like if you whiff you pay 1 with Steve, whiff your attack, you can't boost again, so it's kind of eh. His spender's not amazing. It's like niche. But he's got his invuln is the best in the game. Like it actually works on everything. I don't know if you know
Mhm.
that. It's not just enemy effect.
Really?
So if he was to magically take like 2 damage from a crises or something, he would only take 1.
I'm almost
Yeah.
positive I knew that at one point, but I don't play him enough. There was a period of time when I played him, but you know.
Right.
So Iron Man's solid.
Yeah, I think he's just the very definition of like above average.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. So that's where he's at B tier.
So Craven's next.
Yes. Ooh boy,
Ooh,
Craven.
I throw him at C for now.
I think so too. I think Craven's got a lot of cool things, and he just hasn't had a moment to shine yet.
I agree. I feel like there's on paper there's a decent amount. I mean, expert tracker's cool whenever you get the power. What's the other thing he has a reroll on everything, which is cool too. I don't know where I'm gonna play him at 3 and any other affiliations outside of maybe Spider Foes or maybe Syndicate. I don't know. It's just I don't
I
know how
had
to
him
get
in-
involved in the game. Like honestly, I just feel like there are games where I play him and it's like, okay, I pulled off Expert Tracker a lot because he died, right? Not because he did it himself. It's the other he died, and it was like, okay, cool, I can do Expert Tracker and put out the +1 die to a bunch of people, and then he just goes away. I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I think
I think
C's
Craven's a decent
fine.
character, and he's just
Yeah.
waiting for like
Something's
maybe
missing, I think.
like a new foes card or a new foe
Yeah.
leader or something.
Agreed.
Then he probably can come out and do some work. But
I think
in
so
the current
too.
state, he doesn't really get picked in foes even. So,
No,
but he's not unplayable. It's definitely pretty good sometimes. So
sometimes.
I
yeah.
put him in my roster for X-Men before AMG blew up the universe with their changes. So he was in my like pre-season 8 roster to be official. I found an X-Men because I had actually cut Corvus Proxima. I didn't have anyone like married to the X-Men jump, and he's actually really good with X-Men jump because he can do the like range 2 strike into movement potentially into his range 3 attack, which if you boost the dice, it's like what, like geez, I have to look at it. I think it's like 5 or 6 dice on the main attack, and then
with reroll 1, and then it goes to like 7. with
yeah,
reroll
because
1.
you do the added dice. Yeah, Jesus. So it's like 7 dice basically with his reroll into like what, 8, 9 dice. So 7 into 9. I mean, that's pretty damn good.
You have a tracker up, yeah.
Yeah, and then if you gain a bunch of power, you can if they somehow live on one, you can do the like corner the beast mechanic. So if they try to move in
Yeah.
any way, they just die. Which in a game where people are trying to run away a lot with extracts, it's kind of sweet to just like
Yeah.
put this punishment mechanic.
Punish them.
Yeah, if they
absolutely.
move.
Yeah, I feel like
Corner of the Beast is
Yeah.
good. I love Corner of the Beast. It's just
Oh, and you also let me just finish this. But like the
Yeah.
spear thrust gives him a free movement, so
Mhm.
it gave me kind of this like, with the sword discussion we had in a previous episode, basically this idea of like the perfect attack where he could go in, do tons of damage, and then get out, and then he was out in cover basically, and then he might even be able to like grab something and then get out. So it worked out. It pains me to say he's C tier because I do think this is a character that's just dying for attention, and he just
Yeah.
never gets it. And I don't know what you like. Like Mike said, if there's like an aim lackey card that gives him like a free action, so he could do all the stuff I just mentioned,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
get
foes
that
get an
like
affiliated card that like help him, or if he just like gets the illicit tech treatment where like a new character comes out with a card that works with him,
Mhm.
then that could be like really sweet too, right? If the card's good.
he's also affiliated Syndicate, which works with Daredevil. The problem is Daredevil just has like so many choices. It's just
Yeah, Syndicate's just way too
yeah.
stacked now.
Way too stacked, man. That's the problem. He's just one of those characters you look at like maybe, but there's just other people that fill the role a little bit better. Like
I kind of want to tell you guys I want him to be B on the same way that Ant-Man is B. I feel like the core of this character actually works, but he needs help. He needs affiliation to
needs
support
help.
him.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he can actually be really good.
He can,
Yeah.
yeah. When I pulled off his
I can go
things,
B with Craig.
I've made him work. It's just yeah.
I'm gonna do it. I'm putting him B.
I'm going B.
Yeah, I think
like Craven.
it's under the Ant-Man clause that this is a
Okay.
solid, good character that just needs a home to like really show off what he can do. And I
See that.
honestly, the only reason I cut him from my X-Men is I needed more tactics cards, and so I took
Yeah.
Deception.
Okay. No, I get it.
Cool.
I could see that with that. Okay.
Looks like Lizard's next.
Where are you at? There you are, Lizard. Oh boy,
A.
Lizard goes to A tier.
yeah. I mean, he's just best in class, right?
Yeah.
Like there is this class of tanky control character that plays objective well. It's Lizard. Like Lizard is
Lizard.
stapled to Kingpin Syndicate, and that's unaffiliated. And that's what we talked about. If a character is really good unaffiliated, that almost always makes them A immediately. And honestly, I think we should just move on because I think talking about Lizard
Yeah,
is,
there's
dead,
nothing more to talk about.
is a beating a dead horse. So okay,
Yeah.
let's. Do we want to
I think-
even just a tiny discussion? Why is he not S?
Because he
Why is he
just
not
doesn't.
as-
He's
his-
not good when you have to fight. Really.
Yeah, his
Like,
builder's not. It's a 4-die builder. It sometimes pops, sometimes doesn't.
His
He doesn't
spender
have a
can
push
kill
on it.
things, but
His
it's
spender can,
yeah.
but I mean, it's just getting. If let's say for example, if someone ignores him, where is he getting his power from? Really, like, and then that's the reason why he's not there. If he had a nice spender, like it was a 5 or 6 die spender, like that's crazy talk. But if he had something like a 5-die builder or whatever, I think he'd be maybe competing for S tier. Honestly, if he had other ways to gain his power, but right now you can ignore him and he can
Yeah, you
just sit on
kinda
1 or
can.
2 power. You can't really, yeah, exactly. That's just why. So
Yeah, he's so to be S tier. Well, first probably slammed in all rosters, and we're not seeing that at all. I mean, we're seeing
right,
Hood
we're not
slam.
seeing it either.
If anyone
Yeah.
wants to argue over S, maybe Hood's like, "Hey guys, come on." But yeah, no, I
Yes.
think he's just really good when you need that thing, and that's like the Kingpin leadership wants it.
Yeah.
Weirdly, he's probably better with Kingpin than he even is in his own affiliation. I do think that foes are a little confused as an affiliation because it's like they seem like this attrition team that like has these weird like 4 dice attack characters. But yeah, let's just move on.
Yeah.
So Lockjaw.
uh,
Is he B? I think if Inhumans was better, he'd be B.
yeah, I think Lockjaw's probably a solid B.
Yeah.
He's a B.
I think all the Inhuman 3 threats are probably Bs, in my opinion.
He's a random tech choice that people don't think about. Well, he can actually be anti like Black Order suck him in strategy.
Yep.
Because he can on turn 1 teleport people easily.
Mhm.
And so you just, you moved my character. It'd be a shame if Lockjaw here, such a good boy, just move them back. So no moving has happened this game. He's durable. I liked him with Dormammu, but like he's durable like on a map C. I liked him there where he doesn't have to move too much and he's tanky, and he has actually right up with Craven the international bloodhound mechanic where you just chomp on people and make people die with that extra die that you can
Yeah.
add. Yeah.
Yep. Lockjaw is, I mean, he's Inhumans only, and he's good in Inhumans. Like he does unique things. He's even splashed sometimes. So
Yeah. Okay.
last minute save is probably decent nowadays. Maybe I don't know yet.
Possibly
You can find a
slept
spot
on.
for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. How does last minute save work with rapid fire? Is that even a thing? Someone
Yeah, I think so.
could
Yeah.
they keep the rapid fire on him? Like if you save that person, does the rapid fire still go off?
BKO
I don't-
spent 3 plays within 1 of Lockjaw. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Sorry, this is how my brain works. I just
Yeah, no,
immediately
that's a good
go
point.
into weird tangents.
Yeah,
But
that's a good one.
I would just say Lockjaw is not a premier attrition piece, but he's actually above average with a great throw. And if he gets enough power, which he often does, he can do the like bloodhound thing and chomp on you. And his movement isn't great. His action economy is mediocre, but he actually can improve other people's action economy. It's kind of like he trades his action for someone else's, which is really good for some characters. Like for example, just hypothetically, like a Magneto or whatever. And he's got great durability. He's got the 6 health, the reroll. Yeah, I'm willing to move on. I don't think we're going to argue this. Lockjaw's just a
No.
solid character.
He is.
Yeah,
I'm
chat
curious.
Chat says the rapid fire would get both shots would go off because I think last minute save got errated too after the enemy effect or something like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Next is Luke Cage, guys. I don't know if he's A or B.
I like him at A.
Really?
I'm telling you, yes, I do, because he's -1 damage. He's got Heroes for Hire that he can play. He does have a throw. Okay, he's immune to bleed as well. He moves medium. His attacks are nothing to sniff at either. Not that they're great, but I mean, pulling off a stagger with double wild sometimes, that's pretty cool. Not that it's consistent, but that can happen. Sweet Christmas is really strong, and his survivability is just huge, man. I've had him survive a ton of crap. On top of that, if you can combo him with like magnetic refraction, on top of the -1 damage, and he has bodyguard. I didn't even mention he has bodyguard. That
Bodyguard's pretty good.
sneaks up. Yeah, that bodyguard sneaks up on a lot of people because it's within range 2 of the enemy and not within range 2 of your character. So when people attack, they're like, oh, I'm gonna attack. Oh no, you're within range 2 of Luke. You gotta attack Luke. I don't know how many times Luke has survived those attacks and just saved a lot of my characters' asses. Like, I'm fine from at A. I think he's an A2 character.
I think so. Cage is generally more impactful than Iron Fist these days.
I would also say, to convince me of this, he is splashed, and that's one of the telltale signs that you know something's pretty good. So yeah, actually, you sold me. I was gonna say B, but I'm now convinced it's an A.
Yeah.
Heroes for Hire is a hell of a card too. Hell of a drug.
Hell of a card. It's a hell of a drug, dude. And it just gets better with Luke too. It's just an amazing card.
Oh boy, another
Magic
another
goes to B for me.
confrontational card.
I haven't played her enough, honestly. So
I played Magic all weekend actually yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, I like her. I think she's fine. I played her in Convo, obviously. Some people like her in X-Men. I do think you should be playing her tactics card if you play her at all.
Okay.
It's basically it's Scalpel, but incinerates them on top of it. So like that's very good.
Okay. Journey through Limbo, right? That's the one.
Yep. Yeah, you should absolutely play. If you're ever fielding Magic, you just field that card with her, especially nowadays. And I think she's very good in combo, especially since their other 3 threats are Mordo and Clea. Clea is not, you don't want to play her, and Mordo's a support character. So if you need like a beater 3, like Magic's that character.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think you're right. She to me is C tier if Ironbound books didn't exist. But Ironbound books does exist, so
she also spends power very well. Her spender is a Dormammu attack. So like there are games where like she wakes up from days, you could like if you have your tax card online, you could do that, or you can, teleport yourself and then spender them and then builder them. Spender like incinerates them. And you have Pierce on your builder. So like she definitely can put some pain in. Like, I think Magic's pretty decent.
Okay. Yeah. I think if you can play her passively for her first few turns and that's okay for the team, then she's gonna work out for you. And I mean the Limbo thing, is a whole different conversation. There are gotcha moments. You can use that card and do some evil things, like grab some high threat character and just put him in a really horrible place.
Yep.
So she's got some displacement. I think she's just above average on actual damage, personally. I think it's way oversold. People call her a glass cannon. I would just say she's more like...
No, she's not that.
She's like a glass pistol. Or honestly, like scalpel's... Scalpel's like a good word, because like it implies like precision. And I think you got to use her with precision and kind of go in and maybe chase like squishy stuff too. She has that mobility to potentially chase down like a black cat or like a toad or something. Someone trying to get out of town with an extract.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm down with the B. Personally though, if you put her in X-Men, she's a C. I'm not gonna accept B for an X-Men member. I get that people want to play her there, but the problem is we're married to Storm right now. Actually, let me asterisk that. If we get a new leader in X-Men, I'm more into it. The problem I have is she's too much redundancy with Storm. Because you can't have your whole team sitting in the back. Eventually,
they gotta move. They gotta do something.
If all your characters are in the back, then probably you're actually in the front and you didn't realize it. That's just my problem with her. And I gotta be honest, like I see through X-Men goggles a lot of times, and it does blind me potentially to other things. And yeah, I'm down with the Ironbound books. It just makes me sad that a very iconic character is not as welcome currently, at least with her own affiliation. Like, it's just like she's great in Convocation, and even in Convocation, she's a little bit of a role player, because I think you're still squeezing other stuff in often with that affiliation. She just kind of makes the numbers work sometimes. So I don't think that Convocation's like screaming to play her first pick. I mean, even Mordo, honestly, I think gets played more than she does.
It's her or Mordo. It depends on what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, I'm done with that one. I mean, your survivability is a little low, but like books helps a lot, and her Mystic Defense is actually pretty cool. I love the wild like anti-pierce mechanic that they gave us. I think that's really cool. I enjoy that a lot. So all right,
Moon Knight.
Oh my god, old Mooney.
Boy.
Moon Knight's B tier for sure.
Yeah.
I love Moon Knight. I've played so much Moon Knight, but again, like most of that's predicated on stealth and all webbed up, which Web Warriors is his best affiliation for sure.
So. Yeah, the only thing about Moon Knight is that people did not agree that he was a great web warrior for a long time, and I think now, hopefully, people have moved on from that argument. I think he's a great web warrior, and I'm so glad that AMG made him a web warrior, because I'm not sure that was like an obvious play. He could have, if he was just Midnight Suns. Oh my god, poor Moon Knight.
Well, he's Defenders too, for what?
Okay, I don't think anyone plays him in Defenders, but
they don't.
Yeah, I can't assume other people know that. But Moon Knight is the gambit I wish I had. I mean, everything about Moon Knight, Dizzard and I still remember. I don't remember many of our podcasts, but I remember when Moon Knight came out and Dizzard and I just gushing over this character. He's so... Can you agree, Mike? He's super fun to play. Like, the insanity mechanic is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times you just expect that you're going to get nothing a lot of the time, and then you're pleasantly surprised when you get something cool.
That's true. That is very true.
And that's what's nice about Web Warriors, is you don't really care what he gets a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So it's just everything's nice to have. Whereas I think if you're playing in Suns, you're really hoping you get like a move action or dice.
Yeah, I don't think he gets splashed a lot.
No.
It's just so many cool. I mean, Hood maybe even outshines him in the rapid fire spam. But
range 4 stealth with rapid fire, pretty cool.
I wouldn't rule out that like Moon Knight never gets splashed or whatever. It's just so many characters in this game. It's tough.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's not A tier.
Yeah, he's got a great package though, and I think his package is so interesting that like someday something could come out. Like adding dice to his bow staff attack is randomly like super awesome. I think he's more of a character that actually gets better when there's better tactics cards, because he played Blind Obsession pretty well. He pays for tactics cards really well. Like there's Moon Knight's one of those characters you have to keep an eye on because if they ever make like aggressive tactics cards, he's like great at doing and using them.
Yeah, I mean, I want an alternate art advanced R&D with Moon Knight on it.
Yeah, that'd be dope, dude. I would love it.
Yeah. All right, let's go. Move on. Moon Knight's great though.
Yep.
Yeah,
Who's
yeah.
next? Kamala?
Who is next?
We're done on
Kamala?
row 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I have no
Kamala's a
opinion.
B.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, there's no way Kamala's any worse than Ant-Man. So I think Kamala's really good, actually. She's just A in Avengers, where she suffers Ant-Man's problems in Avengers.
Yeah.
And B, she's actually really great in Inhumans.
Okay.
It's just the Inhumans have they have a very good affiliation. They have great characters, except their cards are crap and Black Bolt sucks outside of his leadership.
Yeah.
So if Black Bolt was just better and maybe they had a card, she'd be getting played in Inhumans all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of down for that. She's got control. She's got actually killing power. She throws stuff. Yeah, I don't know. She feels like definitely like another word for her, just above average, like almost like Iron Man-esque with like the fact that her her Inhuman reroll just feels so good.
Yeah, no, Kamala's really, really good. She just suffers the home problem.
Yeah.
If she was A-Force, you'd play her for sure in A-Force.
Yeah.
100%, like almost every game.
If she's officially web warrior, you play her, right? Because like all webbed up is crazy.
Oh
If
yeah,
if she got all webbed up dice, it'd be insanity.
Oh my god, she'd be gross.
Yeah.
I don't need that in my life, man. I don't need any more shenanigans, dude. All right.
I remember you
Kamal's
lost or no, you beat Hell. Was it? And
Hell
you played Hail Cannon, but his like Marvel I remember was like doing serious work.
Yeah, Kamala did 13 damage to my She-Hulk in one turn. Yeah,
that's
ridiculous.
crazy. All right, so moving on.
Or no, Mysterio.
Mysterio.
C?
I think he's overshadowed just so much. Mobility is terrible. He does have control, but literally no killing power. His health is like good until it's not. God, I remember I played against Mysterio with Dormammu, and it was just dumb. I could always afford to pay the cost, and it's just like he's got one defense. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I could see Mysterio and C. I mean, Grand Illusion's really good nowadays.
Grand Illusion's really good.
I think that they pictured Mysterio playing with Green Goblin and Green Goblin's leadership, and they thought it was better than it actually is.
Yeah,
I mean, or Daredevil's leadership, right?
Daredevil's too, because Criminal Syndicate, right?
Yeah, it's just I don't know.
My thing is, it's the mobility with him. Like he either needed to get a medium move or he needed to be on a big base with a small move. That's it. Like the mobility just kills him. It just He's not hard to kill either. He's not hard to kill. I know people are like, "Oh my god, you can do that." I've played enough of Mysterio. I've tried him in Spider Foes. It doesn't work. I don't care how many people tell me. I've tried it. It doesn't work. It works in Criminal Syndicate a little bit with Kingpin's leadership. It does not work with Spider Foes. It doesn't.
Okay, give him a medium move and 5 dice attack. Yeah. He's immediately like possibly even A, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like if they just did that, I'd be.
I mean, is that even an argument, right? Like that's really good. I just he feels to me like I'd only want to play him on like Gamma, and like maybe he's actually kind of weird on Demons because like if you put him down to 1 die, it's still 1 die. Like you can't incinerate him any worse than he's already incinerated. Oh god, and we forgot the best part. He is so bad at pay to flips, and the meta is very pay to flip obsessed.
Yes, he is horrible on pay to flips. There is no Mystic pay to flip right now, so he is terrible on pay to flips. Absolutely awful.
I think he's a C, bro. Anyone, Mike?
Yeah.
No, he's
I
a C.
I probably agree. I will say Mysterio is S tier for fun though.
He's probably one of the most fun characters in the game. 100%. If every game was just how to have fun, I'd play him in a lot of lists. And his mini's pretty great too.
Yeah, his sculpt is awesome.
Wally, I'll tell you right
Yeah.
now, if you play me with Mysterio and do that, he will not play the game. I'll tell you that right now.
I do think, yeah, like
I'm just
Craven,
gonna be honest
Mysterio, Ock are all about the same for me, and they're all like BC somewhere. So
Yeah, we're
That's
nitpicking
hard.
a little bit, but okay. And he does have a crazy good tactics card, but again, it's only good on a few scenarios. Like it's just like whatever on map D, And
yeah, you can only play it on like Demon's Gamma or something.
I'm a little biased because when I played against it one time, I was playing MODOK and I literally just bowed him into the corner, and it was like, okay, bro, you go do your Misty thing over in that corner. You're not bothering me right now. But I don't really play MODOK anymore. I'm sure I just play other characters that. And he has I will say his stealth is probably one of the best uses of stealth as well.
Yeah. I love
Because
this.
like you can't do anything to him unless you get into stealth range, and then all his cool stuff happens when he's in range 3. So I don't know. I don't know that C is like I don't mean it to be a horrific knock on the character. But honestly, look at the other characters that are C. Like I don't think he's like so much better than any of them.
Right. I don't think he's that much better than Hawkeye. I don't think he's that much better than Gambit. I mean Drax, I can see where you can play Drax over him. Ock and him are about there.
Yeah, I'm not saying you'd play him for the same role either, but I'm just saying Doc Ock, Drax, and Gambit Hawkeye are all like reasonable characters. It's just not as good as the Bs and the As.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. Mike doesn't look convinced, but I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I could honestly throw Ock and Mysterio into B, but nah. I still feel Ock should be in B, and then Mysterio, Craven is somewhere BC. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't
All
know.
right.
I don't see Craven enough. It's just kind of like theoretically, I kind of feel where he is. But Mysterio, I have seen him a lot, and I've never been like, oh my god, Mysterio like dominated this game, right?
Exactly.
I've never
really seen that ever. I could definitely say that about a lot of the other characters in the B tier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like for sure, Domino, Magic, Kamala, Moon Knight, Ant-Man, Mordo, like all these characters, Iron Man, Iron Fist.
I feel like Beast was my B tier in my game this week.
Yeah, Beast had a great game this week. Yeah,
absolutely.
All those characters I've seen they have like really great games sometimes. And Mysterio, I've never seen a game where he's like, holy shit, like Mysterio dominated.
No, and in fact, I've seen cut games with Mysterio where I was like, Mysterio did nothing that game.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing. And he just sits there. And it's like, when people tell me, oh my God, this was Mysterio, I'm like, all right, man, you got to show me and you got to prove it to me that Mysterio could do something like that. And is it legit? I don't know. Like,
all right, let's go to a character that does win games, Mystique.
Yeah, baby.
I think she could be A.
I think Mystique's A tier.
He's an A tier.
So
just over the top.
I wasn't there to witness it, but I heard that in Cabal there was some hot tricks where you like Red Skull Mystique to the up, and then she can like without activating take people that go from middle extracts, and then pull them into like Cabal death lanes. And I mean, obviously she's a fine leader. She kind of helps Brotherhood with a little bit of their Achilles heel. I'm playing her in my roster, and I think she's great. I love the fact that with martial arts plus cover plus stealth, she's just always protecting herself. Shapeshifter, we want to talk about fun. Maybe it's not like as like one-to-one fun for everyone, but I get such a kick out of the idea of Shapeshifter. I love playing it. I love the face my opponent makes when I'm using it on them. It just feels so like Mystique. Like she literally,
but not for thee.
Yeah,
exactly.
I just love the idea that like they're just like perplexed. Like she says no to Odin's blessing. Like she's just so. Oh my god, no brace for you.
No brace. I mean, she turned off a lot of shit, man.
And it's like 1 in 10 games, maybe even 20. But when I can just move and blow up something and kill someone, I love it. And people never see that coming either. You just do like move, explode a lamp or something, and then the person dies.
2 damage, yeah.
I love it.
love
But
that.
shapeshifter for sure. It's just like, oh baby. She's got
Yeah,
survivability, she's got mobility, she brings an awesome tactics card, which also gives some form of control. She makes the opponent taxed like crazy. People stress when you have deception.
Yeah.
And
do.
they have to stress as long as you didn't use it. So if you can save that thing till like turn 4, they're gonna stress till turn 4. I mean,
Yep.
I don't know, man. I don't think she's even close to S, but she's solid A for me.
Solid A. Yes. 100%.
All right, moving
Yep.
on then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Proxima.
Proxima, she's at least a B. I'm willing to say A. Well, I don't
That's
know,
hard
guys.
now.
Yeah,
It's
it's
Corvus getting
the
nerfed
yeah.
a bit
Married to
again.
Corvus. So
The I think, let me just say this. I think Proxima's cursed to be one of the best characters in the game that people see in one way only, and it will it hurts her. Because she still is insanely survivable. And yeah, I remember, Mike, you at one point were like, I could just play this character in Web Warriors. Like, I don't even need
Yeah, I
Corvus.
just play her and as my 5th 3, and like, I mean, I think Proxima could probably just go to A tier, honestly.
I'm down for
She's
it.
just really good. And
If you can, even in affiliation, is anytime a character splashed, right? That's automatically a red flag for A, right? And I think we will always think of her as like play with her with Corvus, but she brings mobility, action economy with her teleporting. She's survivability is great. I don't know what else you know what
let's think about it this way. We put Groot in A tier, and he's with Rocket all the time.
Fair.
Proxima definitely comes with Corvus a lot, and
Yeah.
I've played her by herself. Like other people I've seen, she's been played in Sam Spam without Corvus. I've seen that a few times. So
Okay.
like, yeah, I think Proxima's pretty safe A.
Yeah.
All right.
She's really good, man. Long mover, survivability, pretty good. I like her. Anyway,
If
that's
she
fine.
had some kind of push, it would make her S, but she
Oh my
doesn't.
god.
Yeah, I don't know if she'd be S, but she definitely beats for sure A. Like not even a debate.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you had a character like with all the things she's got, and then you give her some kind of
You add a
push.
push.
I don't know.
Yeah, assuming she doesn't lose what she already has, but yeah, we
Mm-hmm.
can move on if that's fine.
Yeah.
How about old Punisher?
Punisher, I love this character. I really, really do, man. Like he just doesn't have a home, and it pisses me off.
I think it's possible he should be played in Shadowland Daredevil.
Yeah, I mean, Sooner was doing it, and it was working just fine. I mean, with the whole his tactics card's really good too for gaining a victory point for just for killing a model. What is it?
Yeah, Blood Red and Personal.
Blood Red and Personal. That card's good.
He synergizes with Grunts.
Yeah.
On the Fallen, is it right?
Right. And his rapid fire.
Yes.
The other thing is too, his rapid fire has no condition. He just gets rapid fire, guys. He just shoots.
The only downside is that if you vanish the ninjas, you don't get a punishment token.
Yes, correct.
So there's that.
Yeah. But outside of that, I mean, he's got his place with he can advance small with 2 power. I mean, you can get advanced R&D power onto him, and he can just advance small and then be within range, probably just shooting somebody. That's some pretty good action economy right there. If you can get the power onto him, he should easily get 2 power. The only thing with him is, his survivability is whatever. He doesn't have stealth, which he whatever. But outside of that, I mean, I love this character. I mean, I can't stress it enough. I really do. I just wish he had a home, man. Seriously. Like, I hate the fact that he doesn't have Rogue Agent or something. Granted, he might be busted if you gave it to him, but that's his only downfall for me. I mean, and he doesn't have any rerolls on defense or anything like that. But outside of that, I love what he does, man.
I didn't hear you. What did you say about the punishment token?
If you vanish your ninjas, you don't get a punishment token.
You don't get one, right?
Okay, because the enemy effect has to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
My biggest thing with this guy is, I didn't realize this because I wasn't playing lists where things were dying all the time,
Right.
but aim shot plus the punishment tokens is where it's at. That's
it's brutal.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah. Stun and slow is pretty brutal too, but yeah, I think he's fine at B.
I think he's a fine B, man.
I cannot say enough that he should be in the Midnight Suns.
Yeah, absolutely. He should have been a Midnight Sun affiliated character. I agree with that. I don't know why he's not there, but whatever. Poor Punisher.
Yeah.
He is a fun character to play too. By the way, he's pretty
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
He's got all guaranteed rapid fire. Pretty sweet.
Guaranteed rapid fire. Yeah.
I mean, he's got like kind of a charge too, right? Like a Spec Ops.
Yeah,
is,
Spec
like,
Ops. Yeah.
basically a charge.
That's the action economy we always keep
Action
talking
economy is-
about.
Yeah, it's good.
He brings the action economy. His offense is like, it depends how you rate rapid fire, but I think it's like a bit above average. And then you add in the action economy that helps him out, of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I do think he just synergizes with grunts, which didn't exist until recently. So
Right.
Yep.
yeah, I think stocks are up on Punisher, which makes me happy.
Makes me happy. And then
Let's move on.
Quicksilver.
Yes, Quicksilver. Oh boy.
I think he's also B.
I think he's got to be B just because I pick him over Gambit and it's not for bias. Like, I actually like him. I've also played a fair number of Quicksilver and Dormammu, and it's fun. Like,
yeah,
it's very, like, situational. Has to be, you know, his tactics card has to work. Unfortunately, it only works on, it's not civilians, it's assets. Which I wish it was both, but that's not for me to decide. And, but he's not like as fun as I wished he would be, but he's still kind of being like an imp, which I kind of enjoy.
Yeah, he's like 3-threat Toad.
Yeah.
Um,
And when he
Yeah, I
doesn't
think-
die, it's actually fun. And I love when he can trickster up things. Like, I've actually had him
Yep.
trickster up size 4,
Yeah.
and that just feels great as well.
Mhm.
So,
yeah, I think Quicksilver's a solid role player.
yeah.
Same.
He's unique, though, that he doesn't fit the obvious descriptions we've gave because he doesn't actually move things and he doesn't kill things. His survivability is above average. His mobility is super high.
Super high.
But I think his tactics card for me also, I think we imply it, but we should say it. In my opinion, it's either he's in some crazy swarm like pay to flip situation where he's just being obnoxious, or he's like actively able to steal things from people that really like put him up to where he is. And kind of like Beast, he's like got these like situations where he's like a good above average character, and then other situations where he's kind of mediocre doing nothing.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll leave him at B and move on.
Who's next?
Who
Shuri?
is next?
Who is? We just
Shuri.
Shuri is now down to B tier, in my opinion.
Yeah.
She was A way long ago.
Yeah.
She's just B now.
Yeah, I think Shuri's a solid role player. Like, she's good in A-Force, good in Wakanda.
Yeah.
Those are her affiliations, and she doesn't bring any cards.
Not really
Pushes-
splashed anymore.
No.
Which is splashed, yeah. I mean, size 3 is nothing to sniff at, but still, it's not as
Yeah.
effective as it used to be.
She's just a good support character along the lines of Mordo and Heimdall, whatever.
Agreed.
You know, Locked
And she
And
was
people wonder.
nerfed. If she wasn't nerfed, she may actually be S or something.
Oh
or A.
god, she'd be S tier.
I mean, moving all sizes is stocks are up on
Yeah,
that.
being able to move Juggernaut nowadays and Hulk would be really sick,
Yeah.
which is why they nerfed it. Yeah.
Dude, I could imagine some X-Men jumping. I'm gonna move on, but I do have one story long ago when I played early Black Order and I did Shuri double push against Black Order and then did Cosmic Invigorate and did it again.
Yeah.
And it was against like Black Dwarf and Ebony Maw back in the day. Oh my god, that felt good.
was amazing.
But
Yeah.
not legal anymore.
Right.
Okay, Sin. Oh god.
Sin- I think Sin's a C
I-
for me.
I don't know. I don't have. Yes.
If Crossbones is a C, Sin's got to be a C.
This is-
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Alyssa Tech's good. She's got auto rapid fire, and that's basically all she's good for. I
That is
think.
it, man.
She
I
makes
don't know.
Crossbones
stealth too, I
good.
guess.
She makes Crossbones good. She's got
Yeah,
stealth.
husband and wife is good with crossbones.
I'm gonna say I've actually played probably like 20 or 30 games with her. I've never had her die, and that's
Yeah.
crazy because she has 4 health on her front side.
Yeah.
I've never had her die.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
never
stealth hit and
happened.
run with rapid fire is kind of cool interaction.
Illicit tech hit and run.
And
if you can
illicit
do it
tech
on
is
turn
fun, yeah.
2
Tech as
with
well,
Infinity, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, do Infinity. She gets the extra power. Do the illicit tech hit and run combo. Oh baby, that's fun as hell. It's
Yeah.
so good. I think we can leave it at that. I think her
Yeah, we can do that.
leadership is a little leaves some to be desired, but that's not what we're talking about.
Right.
Scourge.
Scourge is probably B character for now. I don't know where it. I need to see him more,
Yeah.
but I've liked him in like the 1 or 2 games I've seen him so far.
I'm gonna say he's a solid B, and I wouldn't even dispute that. I think there's a possibility in the future he sneaks into A. But for now, I'm more than happy to leave him at
Yeah,
B.
it's still too early for Scourge, but I do think he's B. I don't think he'll go lower than that.
Being in Cabal helps a lot for him.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Yes.
Dark Rain is a hell of a card. Enchantress is also in Cabal, so it
Yup.
might be that like his awesome tactics card is awesome for Cabal. Like
Yep.
I'm down for that shit. I'm really
Then he's
down.
gaining extra power too, so his gainer goes from 1 to 2 because of Red Skull's leadership too. So
Yeah,
he's
and the chance it does damage is pretty good, right?
pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty.
Quite,
It's a
it's
6
above average. You want to talk about
Yeah.
above average rolls? I mean, arguably he strikes better than X23. I mean, I guess Pierce is a thing, but you're
Yeah.
rolling 6 initial dice, which means more chance for crits.
Yeah.
Which is better than a reroll. So,
True.
man, I'm not gonna go nuts over him, but I think his tactics card plus just he's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
What, Miles?
Ooh, Miles.
Miles,
The-
Miles
the-
is A or B.
A or B, honestly.
You could say Jacob splashing Miles in? No,
I
he's
think
not.
he is.
Is?
He has
He is.
Gwen at least. He
He-
might
I-
have Miles.
I don't know for
I think
sure.
Miles is under Splash. Like I think he has a solid case to be in Steve Vengers a lot of the time.
Steve Vengers.
Yeah,
Remember,
Yeah, one
he
power, one
was
swing,
in.
like,
He was at one point a key player in the Dormammu list.
yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I could see him being an A, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I think Miles is an A tier character, but depends
I'll
on
go
what.
with.
and this
A.
isn't about his leadership. We're not bringing that up.
No. He's
Um,
got stealth. I'm sorry. He's got stealth. He can do web swing for 1 and Steve Vengers and all that stuff.
he's
so
got the spider sense to be good against throws, which is great. He's
Good action
displaced
economy.
his characters. He's got action economy from his jump.
No.
I can see people complain that like he only has a 4 dice attack, but you add in the action economy and then also that jump just so happens to add dice as well. It really does even out to be great.
Plus, his wilds are like auto damage because it just throws you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Throws
and
most of the cast.
it throws one of the best forms of displacement in this game.
Yep.
The negative is it does require an action to do the throw, but he gets the action economy off the jump. So
Right.
he's high up
And
in
Venom
Survivor.
Blast just
Yeah.
randomly
Venom
wins
Blast.
games.
Yeah.
Yep, Venom Blast randomly just steals extracts, which is a form of control in itself.
Yep.
I'm down with an A, honestly.
Down with A. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, Miles is
Possibly undersplashed, really. I believe you.
Star Lord.
Star-Lord B?
I think Star Lord goes to A now with his buffs.
Okay, we're not going to involve the leadership, though.
I guess Star Lord doesn't really get splashed, maybe.
No, and we're not talking about the leadership, because, I
Yeah,
mean,
okay.
it's a top-tier leadership, but that's not what we're here about.
Well, didn't they add hit and run? Wasn't that something that was new? Or did they
No,
always-
he's always
He
had it.
gained hit and run in the errata.
Did he?
Hit and
Oh
run.
my!
Yes, he
Wow!
did.
I
Yes, he did.
forgot. I forgot. That's crazy.
Yeah, he was
Wow.
terrible pre-errata.
Holy crap!
Horrible.
Yeah.
Run now, so you have to really think about his action economy too.
So the funny
Like-
thing is, he used to be to me the epitome of character that every character starts as.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was just like generic 333, generic health, generic attack,
Right.
no action economy, and then from there AMG makes a character. And I'm glad
Yeah.
and now he's not that. Like you guys say he's has hit and run. I think I blocked it out of my memory that he didn't have hit and run. That's just sad.
Yeah, he didn't have it. at all.
yeah,
That was new.
Funny. I wish Gambit had hit and run, but yeah. Damn. Okay. Well, yeah. I think he's just a solid B. You have to take him anyway in Guardians. No one splashes him, but he's fine. I don't know what else to say.
no,
There's not
he's
much
good.
to say with him. He's just solid.
He's
just-
pretty straightforward character.
These tier lists are nearly impossible to do with leaders, honestly. And actually, when we haven't got to Storm yet, but
Storm's next.
the fact that Star-Lord is never splashed and you have to take him in affiliation
Yeah.
does make me question if he should be a C, because like in a weird way he and Hawkeye aren't that much different. But okay, let's just look at our C tier real
Star-Lord
quick.
has a spender.
Charlotte has a
Okay.
Big
spender.
deal.
How about this?
Elegant's pretty
Lucky.
good.
If we look at our current C tier, is he better than all of those characters? I actually think yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I think he's
absolutely.
appropriate at B.
Okay, or fine. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna recap real quick. It's like Crossbones, Deadpool, Ock, Drax, Gambit, Hawkeye, Mysterio, and what is this? What's her name? Sin.
Sin.
Yeah, I'd say he's just a bit above them all. Hit and run sells it for me. I love action economy, range 4, and it's an energy attack. Yeah, okay. All right, we're doing Storm next. I think
Yep.
Storm's got to be a C.
Storm's a C.
Storm's not a D. We actually
No,
discussed
not a
how
D. No.
she's better than Clea. The range 4 helps. Blah 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 blah.
She's
But
got
I mean,
stealth.
Storm sitting next to Sin, like I actually don't see them horribly different. Storm does have the throw, which Mike and I have memed out of our minds, but it is true that that throw does win games.
It does.
But for most of the game, Storm is like sitting in the back like a two thread.
Yeah.
So- Yeah, I could go B or C for Storm. I think that's where she lives.
That's where she's at.
I think B is a horrendous stretch. If you just erased her leadership and somehow did like a Doctor Strange mind wipe on the whole community, I think people would infinitely complain about Storm. Like nobody would be like throwing Storm
Yeah.
into anything.
No.
I mean, honestly, Storm is just
don't
like
do it now.
Storm is pre-nerf Iron Man in a way.
Pre-buff Iron Man.
Pre-buff,
Yeah.
sorry.
Pre-buff Iron Man. Yeah.
I wish they would. I don't know. It's just yeah. I think Storm's a
Yeah.
C, and
Yeah.
nobody is taking Storm if she's not a leader.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
I think I agree with that.
I agree with that too.
All right.
Supergiant.
Supergiant.
Oh my God! Here we
I
go.
think Supergiant goes to the bottom with me for me.
She's at a D tier for me. I'm sorry for everybody out there that their feelings are hurt about Supergiant. I'm sorry. She sucks. She moves small. She has a small base. She doesn't have movement shenanigans like Mysterio does. At least Mysterio has movement shenanigans. I understand she only takes 1 damage for physical attacks, but if she's playing an objective, if she takes 1 damage, she drops an objective, so then she's not affecting the game that way either. And she has no other way to get back in the game once she's throwed. Cool. She stops pushes.
The best thing I've seen Supergiant do on the table is just shut Venom down, which is hilarious in itself.
It's funny. I mean, it's
Because
cool.
Venom can't really kill her because he can only ever do 1 damage to her.
Right.
And Venom
That's
can't
cool.
pull anyone because she shuts it down.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I think that's cute and adorable.
Yeah, but that's it. I haven't seen her
That's
do
it.
really anything
I
else.
haven't really seen her do anything else. She might have some play on Gamma because she denies pushes, but again, I'm gonna say it again. Throws are better. So once you throw her 1 time, how is she gonna get back into the game? That's my problem with her. And if she's not doing anything outside of that, what is she doing? That's
Yeah.
my problem. It's not.
So
Yeah.
let's go over it.
Yeah.
Mobility, the worst possible.
Worse in the game.
Survivability, reasonable against physical, but actually trash against energy.
Well, it's just average. Just
well,
3 health, 5 health
average.
less.
Yeah.
Sure, fine. I would define that as average, but I think competitively average isn't good enough personally, unless you're like I guess
Sure,
a
I mean,
ranged
yeah,
attacker,
her
but she's like
durability
range
is-
3. She's range 3 with
Durability
no
is
stealth.
definitely above average. Yes. that's a
Okay,
fact.
but
As a
she-
package.
it's funny because she's like nigh unkillable, but then also just like super killable. Like
Yeah. but
against
the problem
Guardians,
is
she's
doesn't
just
score points.
toasted. I think she just okay, well, let's stick to the thing here. So she doesn't move people really. She does stop her own team from being moved situationally, but it's only pushes.
It's only
And,
pushes.
What else? So attrition below average. I mean,
Yeah, her best
literally,
the most damage
yeah.
she can do is a 5 dice attack.
It's a 5 days
at range
attack.
3. Yeah,
Yeah.
and she's
Yeah.
not mobile shit. And then action economy, I mean, it's just like nothing really. I don't
There's
know.
no action economy, nothing. And it's just
I mean, honestly, she suffers from the same sin of Colossus, where like if you're not
Yeah.
moving people, you need to be like doing something else. They're both short movers. Like survivability alone is like not enough to promote a character being good. And
Right.
then I'm just gonna say she's also just I'm gonna this is mean, but it's poorly designed. Like her
It's very
spender
poor.
like makes no sense, and submit doesn't influence all the different objectives of the game, and it's like civilians are very few.
You mean Supreme? Oh no, that is
The
Submit. Yeah, you're right.
submit,
Yeah,
yeah.
submit.
Yeah.
You're never gonna use submit.
Submit
I'm
needs to
telling
be
you right now.
reworded to be all assets and citizens.
Yes.
I keep hearing people try to say, well, you can't mind control an asset. Yeah, but there's human beings on the planet Earth that, you just, some random citizen just picks it up for you and walks it over, you know?
Or why can't she just use her telekinetic powers to pick up the fucking asset and give it to her? I mean, or the civilian. I don't know. Like,
Yeah. I think
use
we're
your
beat.
imagination.
I don't want to beat a dead horse. I think,
Yeah.
but she's a little broken mechanically, and based on our 5 pillars, she's just kind of not exciting in any way. All right. You
Yeah.
want to move on, guys?
Yeah, Taskmaster.
Yeah.
I think Taskmaster C. Yeah.
I think he's a C, but might actually be
He
one
could
of
be
the
a B.
highest C's
Yeah.
there is.
Okay.
Taskmaster is not a bad character. He's just like so average. And like I wish his shield throw could gain power personally. Like, I don't know. If Sam can do it, why can't he?
Yeah, I mean, Taskmaster hasn't aged very well. I mean,
He's good into rapid fire, which is meta.
yeah, I mean, he goes up to 5 dice, which is all right. A lot of times, rapid fire shoots outside his martial artist range, which
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, does his ability only range restricted? It's been a while since I played him.
no, he gets extra dice as soon as he's
Okay.
attacked again. He just won't count blanks.
I'm trying to
he does with
remember.
martial artist.
Oh, he doesn't do the reflexes thing out of range 3.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Weirdly enough, I find the reflexes, especially once you get into the 6 dice, it's actually pretty decent ability.
It is. Yeah, it can definitely pump out like 1 to 2 hits, and it can be pretty scary. So
It's weirdly mechanical though, because like if like you can push him out of 3, then it like doesn't work.
yeah.
Which I don't know. There's characters that can do that. I don't like that his shield throw doesn't give him power for the same way that
Yeah, it
Sam's
definitely
does
hasn't
give
aged
power.
well since Steve got fixed and Sam got released.
Exactly. He's part of like Team Shield Throw, but didn't get any of the buffs.
Yeah.
I think C's whatever. I don't know. He's in Shield and they don't even play him. I
Yeah.
splashed him in X-Men. He was actually reasonable there, but I got better stuff. He doesn't do attrition or control at all. He's just got the stats of like a normal random character, but yet he's expected to, I guess, kill stuff. It's just weird.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, we can move on. It's not exciting to talk about.
Yeah. What, Valkyrie?
Valk.
I think Valkyrie's B now since she's been changed. I think her affiliations really like playing her. Like I play her in A-Force and Asgard and Defenders for sure.
I think Valk's mysterious because on paper, according to the 5 things, she's got good action economy, she's got killing power, she's got control. Her weakness is dying, but she does have the 6 health, so that helps a little. She's a little bit of slightly above average defensively. And then her mobility is like average, but like you add in the charge, it's kind of above average, right? So on paper, she probably should be like S or A, but I don't know. The game is just like, for some reason, moved away from her. And
Yeah, it's hard to justify. Like I said, I think all the affiliations have solid cores now that are affiliated. And they like splash for the 4 threats because I think the 4 threats are a lot more imbalanced as a whole.
Okay.
And
So
it's
her
like-
problem is like people just don't want to splash her, but and her role was the most splashed character for a while.
Yeah, a lot of affiliations didn't have a slew of 3 threats that were all great,
Yeah, I mean, if you look at our current A tier, it's kind of just like more specialized characters too. And though she can kind of do everything really well, she's not like a specialist exactly.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, Val could definitely go to A tier.
She could be
see
A.
her
Yeah,
play more.
Valkyrie's an A tier, I think.
Do you think so?
Oh yeah, she's still fine. I mean, the only thing that changed with her is her throw went to 3 power. She still can charge.
Yeah.
Do her
I will say
thing.
too,
I
if
mean,
Dormammu magically gets buffed in some way, she suddenly is like definitely
Oh
being
my
played
God.
there.
oh
She
yeah.
was she was a
we should probably put
workhorse.
Falcon A. I mean, I'm even questioning if Miles should be B tier right now. I think
Really?
Yeah.
because Jacob's actually not playing Miles.
Oh, he's
Okay.
not.
No, I haven't seen Miles
Oh.
splash to be honest. Even if I think maybe he should be, but I guess
But-
he just isn't. So
I just think Wakanda was playing him in the Wakanda wave, and that was very effective.
yeah,
and
it was like Valkyrie, and then you pick Gwen or him. But those are a long time ago.
And I mean, yeah, like history is, we're constantly shifting. But keep in mind, these are tier lists of just the character, not like so much the meta or what exists now. And
yeah,
you just don't know what the future could be. But like as a character, I don't know. I think Miles has a lot to offer.
That's
you
fair.
know, yeah, it's nitpicky too because he could be like a
Yeah.
high B, low A. I
yeah,
mean, it's not worth.
yeah.
you know,
I think
it's-
I think we could leave Valkyrie. Moving
leave
on,
him.
we could leave
Yeah.
Valkyrie at A. I think
I
Everyone
think she
who's
should be
played
A
her-
too, and
yeah,
I do see myself playing her if the right situations happen. Like
Yeah.
the Dormammu thing
absolutely.
was freaking godlike.
I was badass. Yeah.
Yeah. Viper next.
Viper. Yeah, I think Viper goes to D tier.
D tier. I have nothing to say about the character. I just don't know what honestly,
I think I've seen her in one game, maybe ever.
I've never seen her in a game played. I've never played her myself. I've never wanted to play her. It's just I look at her card and I'm like, what do you really do for me that other characters aren't doing?
Oh my god!
How is
she?
just me.
Look at
I-
these stats.
Dude,
Yeah,
just
so
look at her.
Viper,
I mean,
she has like she has Gwen's stat line. She has like mediocre attacks, and then she has grappling hook, martial prowess, and stealth.
I've said this
Eh?
in Discord. She's basically Black Cat without the steal.
basically,
Yeah, or she doesn't have any of the things that makes Black Cat amazing.
You like the stagger, which we talked about, stealing
She
other
doesn't
people's
have, like,
action
the no-
economy.
Yeah, she doesn't have auto stagger. She doesn't have no mods when defending or when you're attacking her. She doesn't have the steal.
Yeah, so
Like,
she's not
those are,
stealing,
like,
she's
Black
not
Cat's best
attrition,
things.
she's not controlling. Her survivability at best is above average. Her only good attribute is the long move and the jump. So her mobility is off the charts.
Well, she's got stealth too, right? But again,
I mean, okay,
don't
so
know.
people are going to say we got to defend the character correctly, but people are going to say coiled serpent and stealth. That's what people are going to say.
that's what they're gonna say. You know that, yeah.
I think that puts her just barely above average. Just the same way, though, Black Cat has the stealth and no rerolls. Like, I really think this is basically we're looking at Black Cat. They're very similar,
Yeah, very similar. Yeah.
very
She
similar.
just doesn't have Black Cat's
Good abilities.
Good
toolbox
abilities,
of
exactly.
objective play. Yeah.
Right.
She poisons and stuns are like very whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
And honestly, everything about Proxima is why she's not good. And if you don't,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Proxima is also just a better version of this character.
It's just
yeah.
a better version of her. Yeah.
indestructible over stealth, yeah, okay, I'm in.
Yeah. That same here.
I don't want to dwell on Viper. I feel though
I don't.
there are gonna be people who disagree with us, and I've had this conversation like for hours on Discord. For some reason, some people actually heavily defend this character, and maybe since we're getting kind of late on time, like we can't spend as the time we need.
No.
But
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, just grab Proxima, grab Black Cat, and who are, by the way, A tier characters on our list, and then look at Viper, and you tell me how you can rationalize that.
Right.
Um,
Exactly.
Okay. Oh, Wasp.
Wasp, I've played her a couple times, man.
Man.
She's growing on me a little bit.
I think Wasp was probably B with Ant-Man. I
think
think
it
they're very
B.
similar.
They're very similar characters. Wasp transforms and would move long. Funny thing with her, like what you can do, like you know how Toad has his little thing right now where you can just go up, grab an objective within 2. You can transform, move long, and do her energy attack on Toad. Now here's what's interesting. For builder, the character does
true.
not
That's
gain
cool.
power. Yeah, you see that, bro?
Toad can't slippery.
Yeah, Toad cannot slippery. So this is a Toad counter. If you guys are watching, this is a Toad counter. So you're gonna see a lot of Toad. So you can literally transform. Well, I've done the math, I've done the measuring and all that nonsense. They have to be really cute with their thing, and I guarantee you they're not gonna know what Wasp does. So I guarantee it. Trust me,
They're not
it'll
gonna know.
they're not gonna know. Now, here's what's crazy. All you care about is doing a couple of points of damage. Toad doesn't have rerolls or anything like that. You can literally set up the kill with another character by throwing something at Toad or whatever. But that first initial thing where you're doing an attack, he can't slippery, so he stays right there. So, just saying.
Dude,
And on
you
top
can
of
even
that-
get even cooler. You can move another character into range, and then you could activate Wasp, transform long move, attack, build power, pin particles into Toad. He just dies.
You get now. I was gonna
Yep.
mention that too. Pimp
Yep.
particles. Yes, dude. There you go. Now you got it. So man, I'm telling you, I right now I got her in my brotherhood list for a bit. I'm trying out because I want to do the whole pin particles thing. I think it's fun where I can get an extra throw out of an activation. You know, when people piss me off when they block all my throws for some damn reason. And then, I could at least get another throw with pin particles if she's within range of Magneto. So Magneto could just go and throw something else for free without having to spend the tax. So there's that too. I've been having fun with her. And the other thing with her is too, when she's in her mini form, she does have rerolls. She can reroll everything. And she has stealth. So that's
Yep.
another thing too.
Well, defense and dodge, not everything,
Defensive dodge. Yes, correct. I'm sorry. Defensive.
but it's still pretty slick. I mean,
It's still pretty slick. Yeah.
that's actually
also-
better than Spider Sense. I mean, there's no negatives. You can't turn it off, and yeah,
Yeah, you roll all your dice instead of 2.
yeah.
But yeah, my local has been playing Ant-Man and Wasp like exclusively, and
Yeah.
he's loves them.
I'm having a blast right now.
He did really well at a big local at Bug Eater on like the Sunday tournament that for people that didn't make cuts. And I think he top 3'd playing like Ant-Man Wasp with like Red Skull and Kingpin or something like that. So
I played against
Yeah.
Ant-Man and Wasp back in the first $100 draft game it was Nate from the Gamers Guild. And I still won because I think I stole something and got away from him and basically like turtled up for a while and then literally ran away, and all I had to do was score like 1 VP and I win. But it was the most epic game because both Ant-Man or Wasp, like running away from those characters, it was like a losing proposition. Like if that game went on 1 minute longer, I'm done. He almost tabled me. I had one character left at the end of the game.
Right.
Because those characters are just like bullet barraging and flying at me, man. There's no way out.
Yeah. The thing about her though is like her objective plays whatever, but she's there for her little, niche little things that she could do. I have fun playing with her. It's been a blast, and she has a throw, but 2 by the way, in her.
yeah,
large
so it's
size.
like size 3 or some crap, right?
Size
Like,
3, yeah, dude. It's size
Uh,
3, and she chucks it medium, I think. Or
Yeah,
small, I
she
can't-
throws size 3. It's Jesus. It's range 2 throw
Yeah,
medium.
dude.
Yeah.
So think about it, man.
Yeah, I played her with A-Force way back when A-Force was first announced, and I loved her Wasp Fury, and I loved dumping power on her. 6
yeah,
dice,
Wasp Fury is
range
Steel
3.
Rush. It's energy Steel Rush.
Yeah,
and-
exactly. Yes.
And that's actually more, 'cause she transforms too.
yeah, and she transforms. Yep.
It's
Yep.
crazy. She's all over the place with that card. It's just 2 power. It's literally, yeah, like you said, it's like
2
Steel
power,
Rush
man.
plus the
Nothing.
transform. It's
Yeah.
great.
Yep.
I like her a lot, man.
All right, we'll leave her at B.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just tough because A-Force is not in a great place. Imagine if A-Force just got like a
Yeah.
new leader and just all of a sudden you
Oh,
can play all this.
man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Crazy. All right, who's next?
War
Machine?
War Machine.
I
I think War
one of
Machine's living in C tier nowadays.
C tier now, man.
War Machine's rough days, man.
He was only good for a minute because of all you've got.
And
all you
even
got,
even that was also Sam's leadership helping him out and moving.
Yeah.
Right.
He was basically like a hyper efficient, low cost Enchantress beam machine that
Yeah.
used
and
all
he
you've
was
got.
Magically affiliated.
And he
Yep.
gained power a lot, which was like a big
Yes.
deal for that. So I guess we'll run down real quick. Bad action economy. His beam is cool, but it's physical, which is like the easiest defense to block in this game. So it's like ends up being like instead of focus firing, you're spreading your damage, and you're not generally. I mean, you always could spike, of course, but generally it's like a little bit of damage here and here, So you're now like helping your opponent get power and not actually killing things often. His survivability is fine. I mean, it's pretty good. It's great. I mean, invulnerability is good ability. but he has no displacement. His mobility is very average, so like it just doesn't equate well. Like
Yeah.
if you're gonna play an attrition piece, you want like an above, like super strong, well above average attrition piece,
Yeah.
and he literally doesn't offer like anything else,
He
and he doesn't have
doesn't.
the action
Plus-
economy to support it either.
Plus, he like empty the clip was so much better with all you've got because you were gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
So you didn't care.
Yeah, you really didn't care. Yeah, that's funny,
Yeah.
dude. You're right about that.
That was fun. I
Yeah, all
hated
you've
when
got
people.
definitely made this character good.
Manix had yeah, it did. Yes, it did.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think he's that great nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh
Let's-
boy, Bucky.
Oh.
Bucky.
Buckster.
Bucky is
Maybe?
He's
Maybe.
put him in S tier.
No,
Oh,
Put his
no.
ass in. I'm kidding.
maybe.
He's borderline. He's A to S. I think Shadowland Daredevil puts him S tier. But he's upper A. Like he's rogue agent. He goes with he can go in every affiliation. He has tier affiliation. Range 5 rapid fire is nutty. His stupid Hydra tactics, which is not once per turn. He can just hop, shoot, and then
Yeah.
whatever. He's insane. He's just solid, man. And I'm happy to say that because he was in a rough spot for a long
pre-buff
time.
Bucky is in D tier with Viper.
Absolutely, he was.
So
Yeah, so he jumped significantly, like because of the errata. So others had him at D tier when the errata came out. Not gonna say names, but he definitely wasn't there. So
He does have his struggles. He hates cover.
yeah.
well, yeah, I
He doesn't
mean,
love cover. He's
He
still
does
decently
not
fragile.
control. He has
he's still fragile.
Okay,
right?
I always say he doesn't have control, and then someone always has to tell me that yes, he pushes on the spender. So
he pushes
yeah,
on a spender. Yes,
I agree. He pushes on the spender. That's still like a once per game movement, really.
yeah.
Okay, the chat says everyone hates cover. I get it, but like Bucky's offense is like how much damage he does, and so he could theoretically gain none. And then you add in cover, and sometimes you just don't hit the person.
So it's
You
just
know?
it happens. It happened
Uh,
against me when I had Brotherhood with refraction and all that. It can happen, right? But his
Yeah,
potential's too high, man. He's gonna roll a lot of dice at you. When you roll a lot of dice at people, more times than not, you're gonna be successful, right? Granted, there are times where it's sad and it doesn't happen, but the chances are in your favor if you keep rolling dice. So
I think he's overtuned, but I don't think that makes him S tier because it
No.
still is not encouraging people to splash him up like super aggressively. He still only does attrition, and I felt always that if you want to be only good at attrition, you need to be very, very good at attrition because most of this game is really about VPs and scoring points and moving characters around and just have like causing stress for your opponent in that manner. And so characters like Baron Zemo and Bucky, this is what they do. There's nothing else. They don't have another plan. Like their plan is kill you, and if they fail, then they failed in their plan.
And then they fail. Yeah, exactly.
So he has great action economy because the Hydra tactics is crazy, and we all have current and probably future stories about how nuts that ability is. He has great action economy in that he gets free attacks when his teammates go down, which also combos with grunts really well. His range is crazy. His survivability though is very average to sometimes below average, right?
Yeah.
Because of the 2 mystic defense with no real defensive tech at all. So he's definitely a bit of a turret.
Yeah, he's a turret. He's a long range turret.
Mobility very average, but Hydra tactics kind of makes that a little muddied. So he can actually just have insane mobility randomly.
And oftentimes he doesn't have to move because it's range 5.
Yeah,
it's
so he
range
doesn't
5,
even. Yeah, his mobility is like average to good enough for whatever he's doing anyway. So it's not really like a negative, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
So yeah, I think this character is a soft, potentially close to S tier character, but
He's close.
he's top of the top A.
Yeah, top of the top A. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
That's no question there.
Any final thoughts on Bucky?
No.
Ooh, saving the best for last. Oh man.
Hey.
I put 23 is A tier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Throw her ass in A.
Anything to say about why she's not S tier? I gotta say, like from day one playing against this character, because Dizzard had a love affair, I had to play against this character in all my practice games for like a month or two.
Yeah.
This character scared the crap out of me, man.
Yeah, she does.
Dude,
Um,
she still
There's a lot of
scares the
people.
crap out of me.
She's still
And
scared
like,
she can
no, but like, there could be all kinds of much more exciting characters on the table. It could be, I don't
Right.
know, even like Magneto or something. I don't know, but like, I still would be like, oh my god, I cannot let X23 get near me. I remember one game, again, luckily Herbs is gone, where this X23 grabbed an herb, and I was like, run away, everyone, just get out. Because like now you're rolling 5 to 7 dice with a reroll, and she gets to move off of it. So
Yeah,
that, and she
dude.
can't be staggered, and she can't be, what was it, staggered and
What's her
slowed?
deal?
Slow, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, I do not want to deal with this. Just run away. I literally was like, X23, you can do whatever you want over there. I am not going to even
Right.
bother you. I do not want to go over there.
Right.
She's a
She's
little
cool,
Ginsu
man.
knife.
Yeah. I just see her as like another version of another version of Zemo. You know
Yes.
what I mean? The only
Fair-
thing is she doesn't have a charge. But if you look at the spender, about the same. She has a built-in reroll, about the same as Zemo. She just doesn't move long, and
I mean,
You
she has
know,
pierce triggers on both of her
she has
attacks.
pierce.
Zemo doesn't.
yeah, that's right.
But
Zemo
Zemo
doesn't.
gets full rerolls if he pays for it, so it's
exactly.
a wash
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Zemo also is randomly actually a support character, and she's not.
Yeah.
Right. Correct.
Yeah, they have trade-offs.
Yeah.
Have
I'd say they're
trade-offs,
about-
right?
I mean,
pretty
healing
good.
factor is a whole different thing. I mean,
Jesus, healing factor too.
healing factor plus exceptional healing. She brings great tactic card
Yeah.
usage, no matter the cost is crazy with her.
Oh my god.
I think her and Zemo are a great example of two of very similar characters, but I don't think either of them are S tier. I just think they're doing what they do. Slice and dice, you know?
Yeah.
I
For
love
us,
their
it's deep power,
mobility. Yeah, I love their mobility. They're above average survivability. Zemo does have the 4 Western Europe or Eastern European mental defense where she's I guess American, so we're dumber. So just two mystic defense.
They
There-
all have room training.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys question that, I mean, just go and look at all these Europeans. They just seem to all have this extra mystic, and we're just like dumb Americans, apparently. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I love the death X23.
I love her to death.
She's probably
so
not
fucking
S
good, man.
tier because she's not splashed really heavily, but I mean, I've seen her in Guardians, and she definitely has earned her A spot.
Yeah, no,
For
if
sure.
anyone's close to S tier, it's Bucky, and I don't think he breaks it yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Mm.
He's
Yeah,
close,
it
though.
remains
He's
to be
damn near
seen.
close.
Bucky is pushing the limits because really the biggest thing is like the Hydra tactic should be once per turn. It's like if you gave Zemo like 2 charges a turn, I mean, like, yeah, that would
Yeah.
be insane, right? Like,
Right.
yeah.
I gotta
or-
say, like looking at this tier. Oh, by the way, are there any more 3 tier? Is that it?
We're
Or is there
done.
One more. Okay, so like looking at this tier list, man, dude, there's a lot of 3. Like, there's a lot of good variety at 3, man. Like, if you really look at this,
Yeah, 3's in a good
Listen.
place.
3's in a really good place. Now, granted, I mean, you have 3 D tiers but that's 3 out of how many characters that we don't think are viable or like just any good. Like, I
Yeah,
can make
there's
an
at least,
argument
like,
for
50 characters here, and they're
at
all playable
least-
except for those last 3, I would say. Which is what are-
absolutely,
yeah.
yeah. It's insane. Like, they're in a 3's just in a really good spot, man. Like, that's
Hmm.
awesome. That's awesome to see.
Yeah, the
That's
game
my
is
take,
really AMG's done a great job of fixing the bell curve a bit. Just yeah, really like even the C characters are like not unplayables.
Right, they're
You
not
know?
unplayable. Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
Like I can still see myself just even grabbing Deadpool and Zemo and literally
Yeah.
splashing them in any affiliation together, and
Right.
having a good old time just doing bang bang bangs with rerolls. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
Like I had my little thing with Doc Ock earlier, but like I can still see myself playing him and doing some cool stuff with him.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I've played a lot of Sin and Crossbones with Illicit Tech, and it's still good. It's just, they're just a little bit below curve, and I really, really want some of these characters to get buffed. I mean, Deadpool is probably like top 5 most popular Marvel character of all time.
Yeah, he is.
And
It's kind
so
of a shame where he's at right now.
seeing him where he's at is unfortunate.
Very.
I have extreme bias towards any mutants that are in the C tier. And if they were to, be bumperoonied, I would be happy.
Yeah.
But hey,
Yeah.
a majority of the game is up in A and B. And
Yeah.
what more can you ask for, really?
Right. A lot of variety.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Any final thoughts, guys?
No, I think it's a pretty solid list. I'm excited to hear everyone who disagrees with us, aka not.
Oh no, I actually would love to hear
I'm
it.
excited, man. I love the
I want
Yeah,
to
no, for
hear.
sure.
You know what? I definitely want to hear what people think about Doc Ock, because for whatever reason, Mike, you're sold on Doc Ock being a B.
Yeah,
and-
I think Ock should be in B tier personally. He's the only one I feel on this list, and I think maybe Craven is a little remains to be seen. But I have
Those
seen.
two,
I guess the one thing for Craven, the consolation is I've seen him have good games.
Yes.
I've played him
Which-
into you, and I feel like I did great.
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
a really good game in that game.
My
And
thing
like,
is-
I don't even
is-
think my dice were that good. I remember I had like some seriously
yeah,
weak
he
ass
whiffed.
dice.
Yeah, and he still
And then I
whiffed.
had like
Yeah.
maybe one big. I had like it was like 7 dice attack, and it rolled out like 6 hits or something. I was like, all right, there it is, and I took a character out.
I feel like that's the difference. And honestly, I do feel like Ock should be in B. I've seen Ock have good games. Ock has well-laid plans, etc. Beast is like very similar to Ock. They're like almost the same character.
I could see
Beast
that.
is in B.
But I named why he's B. He's got the 2 power ability. A 2 power
Gotta
throw
reroll.
means that you got to turn 1 throw under Steve. Under X-Men, you use first class, and you're using it next turn without even doing anything.
Honestly, like
It makes a difference, Mike.
Yeah, if Doc Ock had a 2-power throw, he'd be B for sure. It's just it's expensive.
Yeah, they'd have to nerf it, but I think
Um,
it would be better for him to have a 2-power throw. They'd have to
I think
nerf
so,
it.
too.
Yeah,
uh,
all right.
I
It is
gave
what it
you
is. I'm
and
not
Beast is
super
better
attached to it.
at dodging and throws. Flat
Yeah.
out, you can't even argue it. It's like he's
Yeah.
literally better.
Yeah.
You give me 4 dice plus full rerolls on those 4 dice, and you're gonna tell me like Beast is not above the curve, and he's getting the skull thing, so he gets power back even when he's
Well-
dodging.
Well,
Now,
Ock-
obviously, Doc does that too.
It's- yeah.
No, I know. Listen, I know Ock does it too, but the point is, Beast is fueled by power to protect himself, where Ock doesn't even get that choice. Ock doesn't get to
Yeah,
spend
I can go
power.
Either way, it's not. I'm not super attached to it, but I do feel like Mysterio probably deserves to be in C.
Yeah,
Oh.
Mysterio's in C. It for me.
Well, he's
I
in
just
C.
haven't seen. Yeah, I know that. I'm just talking about these Spider Foes characters because they're a little. I was like, how do I feel about it? But yeah, I think we nailed Mysterio. I have not seen Mysterio have like a stellar game ever.
Here's
Even
the thing
though
about,
like on
yeah.
paper he should be awesome and his card
Yeah.
is good and everything.
And
but
we
yeah.
agreed he's very fun to play. Like, there's no
Here's-
question.
Yeah. Here's what I love about Mysterio the most. We all say that, but I always hear stories that Mysterio did this, Mysterio did that, Mysterio blah 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 blah. I then play them. Mysterio does none of those things. And then when I play, I played against them, like, and
Yeah.
I never see him do any of those things that they talk about. So that's the part that gets me the most. Is like, please show me, like, show me where you did this and give me the evidence because I have never seen it.
I will defend Mysterio in that. Okay, his tactic card is insane if you can't move him. He's actually super obnoxious. It's basically Bitter Rivals, but even better.
Oh yeah,
And we all agree Bitter Rivals was insane. But
Oh my God,
forget that
yeah.
card, which is really good.
Mhm.
The only time I've seen Mysterio really be insane is when the opponent's already winning a lot, and I would
Mhm.
describe that as a win more. Because what ends up happening is he's like holding an extract or something, or maybe
Right.
even like an extract, and he's on a back point somewhere, and I need to kill him. But that's when he's super obnoxious because he's like,
That's when he's
"Oh,
obnoxious, yes.
you move next to me, so I run away, and then like I'm now out of range of stealth, like or I'm in stealth, and then like what are you gonna do? You move again, then maybe you attack me once or something."
Right.
And then he just moves back on the point, scores his extract, and scores the secure or whatever, and like they win. Like he's
Right.
so he's like that's the only time I've ever found him to be a kind of annoying. Is like that like kind of win more scenario where I really need to like get him down and they're up on me, and then he can play that style of game. But if he's like the one who has to go get me, yeah, I don't see that happening too well.
It never happens, man. I'm not trying to be down on the character. On paper the character has a lot of stuff, but the small movement thing just kills him. It really does.
Yeah.
The funny thing was that I don't know who did in one of my live streams. They mentioned something about Mysterio doing some stuff to Juggernaut, and I was like, "Are you telling me that was my latest one?" It was like Mysterio does well against Juggernaut. I was like, "How?"
Yeah, I don't know
I'm
about
like,
that.
I'm like, "How?" I'll move. You'll do your tricks and traps. That's cute. And then I'll push myself, and then you'll take a damage, and then I'll just punch you. And then what are you gonna do after that? I'm in your face now. Even if you like, that was one of the funniest ones I saw, and I was like, you got to be trolling me, I think. But anyway, I don't know.
I think Drax could be arguably a B personally if you go with more like an X23 Honey Badger kind of Guardian spam roster. But I
Drax
don't
is
know.
like one of
I
those
don't know.
he does a lot of good stuff too, man.
Yeah, I would
It's just, I
say,
don't
and
know,
I'm gonna
man.
snap a screenshot actually of this. I will say when you actually look at the tier list done and you compare the characters to each other, they actually feel similar in my head as well. Like I just get a vibe of like, yes, that group actually looks like they should be hanging out together.
Right.
So that's interesting to me.
Yeah.
But alrighty, let's call it, man.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
that was super long, and everyone has left on Twitch. So
Yeah, they're gone. We got 3 people left in here. They've dipped, man. They're like, these
Well,
guys are finished. So.
we're gonna get yelled at tomorrow by Jacob too. Look forward to that.
Yeah,
But
pretty
thank
much.
you everyone for listening. This was fun for us, and have a good day.